mo mà dẹ̀ tún kí yín káàbọ̀ sínú ìpàdé aláyọ̀ tòní o níbi tọ́mọdé tí mo ọ̀wẹ̀ta tí ń bá gbà jẹun lábala Lerefe tá a mọ́ gbà yọjú náà ayọjú lójú fèrèsé bó la yọjú sí ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá Destiny Boy tó dolóògbé ní kòpẹ́kòpẹ́ yìí lárí tó ń lọ́gùn ó ń pariwo igbe ọmọ mo ló ga o àtàbíamọ àti bàbíamọ kankan kò ní sọmọ nínú wa ṣùgbọ́n fọ́nrán míì látún wá rí níbi tí ó ti ń ṣe lálàyé wípé alọ́mọ òun mọ́tò bọ̀gìnì kan tó rà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó dolóògbé ilé ayé ló wà mọ́tò yìí ò bá kú kò bá lọ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn kan ti gbé mọ́tò yìí láwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bú wọ́n ní mọ́tò ló ń lé kiri mọ́tò ọmọ rẹ̀ kò wá mọ́ sí máa wá àdájọ́ fọ́mọ rẹ̀ ara àdájọ́ náà ni o gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá mọ̀ ara àdájọ́ ni nítorí bó lè yóò ṣe kú ẹni tí ò ní mọ́tò ó ṣe wá gbé mọ́tò kúrò lákàtà ọmọ ọlọ́mọ torí bó ti kú bó bá tiẹ̀ wá jẹ gbèsè rẹ̀ ẹ ṣàlàyé fáwọn ẹbí rẹ̀.
wọ́n ní wọ́n ti wá mọ́tò yẹn fún abíbáde sọ́dẹ̀ fún yẹn.
àwọn dẹ́gbà yìí àwọn oníkànsí ẹni wọ́n fún Destiny Boy tó kó wa mọ́tò yẹn wá sílé ẹni àwọn bá ti mọ́tò dédé tán ó ti bẹ́ẹ̀ Destiny wá ní pé àfikún máa fi òbẹ́ni tó bẹ́ẹ̀ tó ṣe síláàtì kó bẹ́ẹ̀ máa gbé òun òbẹ́ni sáà ní fabrics tó tún gbọ́ ọ̀tà fún ẹgbẹ̀rún káàkiri.
wọ́n ní jẹ́ gbogbo fóun lówó.
Destiny Boy fún lówó ni
ẹ wo àdúrà ní ká mọ̀ gbà pé kí irú ẹ̀ mọ̀ ṣe wá àwọn tó tiẹ̀ ń gbé máìkì sí bàbá ìlẹ́nu gan tó ń gbé kámẹ́rà sí lẹ́nu kiri èmi ò rò pé ó nídìí o èèyàn mọ̀ ń lọ́wọ́ ó sì ń ṣe tọmọ rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ọmọ tán tí ì sin tán sì ń wá justice tí ń gbé kámẹ́rà sí lẹ́nu kiri. ń tẹ́sẹ̀ fún bàbá Mohbad lẹ́fẹ̀ẹ́ ṣe fẹ́lẹ́ yìí náà ó mọ̀ gan ẹja kó bẹ́ẹ̀ já dé chọ́ọ̀chì oníta àti kófìrí bàbá kan pẹ̀ ládàá lọ́wọ́ mo ní kí ló dé sunday deliverance fún bàbá ẹni ṣé dímọ̀n ló gbé bàbá ìwọ ni ó ṣe wá má dàda ni wọ́n ní kì í ṣe dímọ̀n wọ́n ní ẹgbẹ́ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ni bàbá ń gbé tán sì ń fariwo di lọ́wọ́ nínú night vigil wọ́n jò sùn ní bàbá bá yarí tán. wa ti kó ń bẹ́ẹ̀ o a ti dé ọ̀dọ̀ ìkànnú àwọn tí ń bá ààrẹ olódòdó ṣiṣẹ́ agbowóde ní olórí agbowóde àwọn ni wọ́n mójútó ọ̀rọ̀ tax tí ń bọ̀ yìí àwọn náà sì mọ́ gan sókè làwọn èèyàn bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pín àwòrán ìkáàkiri wọ́n ní ẹ wo aago ọwọ́ rẹ̀ mọ́lẹ́ mi ò lọ ìvẹ́ǹtì tán ti wo aago yìí mi ò mọ̀ bóyá ẹ fi photoshop gbé sí ni ṣùgbọ́n bó bá ṣe é ṣe tán bá ń rí fọ́nrán yìí ẹ̀ẹ̀kan náà kán wá gbèjà ara wọn. nítorí àwọn èèyàn ti ń sọ pé bọ́nà ti rí owó aago yìí pé aago yìí wọ́n débi wípé àwọn náà fẹ́ bọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ èmi ti rò pé gómìnà ló fẹ́ bọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ ni mi ò mọ̀ pé wọ́n tún máa to ẹ́ńtórèjì tẹ̀lé àwọn olórí agbowóde olórí tax ó ga o àwo wa mọ̀ bóyá òótọ́ ni aago tán wọ̀ sọ́wọ́ wọ́n bá sì jó náà wọ̀ sọ́wọ́ wọ́n bá náà lówó ẹ̀ kí wàá lóde táwọn èèyàn ń pariwo kiri àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ lówó Nàìjíríà gan ẹ gbàgbé pé ó ń bá ìjọba ṣiṣẹ́ o ṣùgbọ́n ojú àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà náà ṣáàpù aago aláàgó lẹ̀ ń wò kiri sí èèyàn mọ̀ ọ́ aago aláàgó ṣiṣẹ́ ni orí ẹjẹ́ àpò ń bẹ́ àwa ìwọ aago aláàgó ṣiṣẹ́ bí kò sí tó kàn wá ń bẹ́ ẹjẹ́ wá dọ́dọ̀ ọ̀gá Rose Galolo.
God, this is Nigeria. Protest for contract whom they have never paid them the contract in the federal government, in the Ministry of Finance. Minister doesn't come to office again. Contractor even make a place where they are playing table tennis and they are cooking for themselves because no payment. They didn't pay them, they blocked them completely down. Completely down. And the Mr. President is there, he cannot say anything. Wike, the Minister of FCT, nothing. No payment, nothing. They locked the office, protest. He's not working with anybody unless he was beggar and the Israelis company.
ó dá ẹjá kò lọ́dọ̀ ọ̀gá Rose Galolo ó ń fọ́tọ́ sí ara kámẹ́rà ni kò ní ọ̀rọ̀ gidi lẹ́nu ẹ jẹ́ wá mọ́rọ̀ sọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ti Fubara àti Wike pàápàá jùlọ nínú àkójọpọ̀ ròyìn lónìí dẹ́nkúdẹ́nkù ọ̀rọ̀ ń bọ̀ o Rufai Oseni ní Arise TV ó fẹ́ẹ̀ béèyàn kan jà lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí in fact díẹ̀ ló kù kan yọ ẹ̀sẹ̀ síra wọn ṣùgbọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìròyìn abẹ́lẹ̀ ìròyìn abẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ gan ni mo fẹ́ pè já kúkú pè ní ìròyìn abẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ tá à ń gbọ́ ó ń jọ bí ẹni wípé wọ́n fẹ́ kọjú Fubara sórun alẹ́ o ó ń jọ bí ẹni wípé ọ̀gá ńlá lókè ọ̀gá at the top wọ́n prefer Wike oníjàngbọ̀n ju Fubara onísùúrù lọ o ó rẹ̀ jáde nínú àkójọpọ̀ ròyìn a sì ń yí ọgbọ́n ní ìròyìn àbẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ní ẹjẹ́ àkóńbẹ́ ẹjẹ́ wa dé ọ́fíìsì Minister for Interior níbi tó ti ń bá àwọn immigration officer wí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà bá kún wọn bá lóòótọ́ ni àwọn gbèsè lẹ́yìn àwọn immigration officer yẹn wọn fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ wọn fẹ́ mú ní kí ló kan yìí ọ̀gá ń bọ́ ọmọ ṣẹ́ wí ẹ̀ ń dá sọ̀rọ̀ náà káwọ́ pọ̀nyìn náà gbọmọ nìkan náà ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa wọ́n bá ṣiṣẹ́ tó tọ́ yóò dàbí ẹni pé wọ́n ń frustrate ẹni ẹlẹ́ni ní ẹ wá dúró akitiyan àti ìgbìyànjú tí mínísítà yìí ń gbà kí èèyàn tún wá fẹ́ renew passport ìgbà míì ọmọ sọ waiting approval ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta ẹ̀ tí gbọ́n kankan wọ́n fún yín nọ́mbà tẹ́ ẹ pè sí bẹ́ẹ̀ pé wọ́n ní dáhùn kí ló dé sẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ frustrate ẹni ẹlẹ́ni pa ni.
And Nigeria is not VIP. So because it's for VIP and children, so definitely you people will just be taking mercy and be chopping line. Why Nigerians are waiting downstairs? It's unacceptable. When you wear this uniform, you wear a uniform of sacrifice. When you wear this uniform, you wear a uniform of service. You are here to work for the people. I'm not impressed with this because I can't get here and not see people because there is no. How many times do you get VIPs? You're so called and unquote, you're so called VIP. How many times do you get there? Not every day, not at all times. How many times do you have children? Not at all times. So for me, I can't enter. No matter what you tell me, it doesn't apply to me. To put it mildly, you cannot, and I repeat, be here and there's nobody.
Wo lọ́dọ̀ tèmi wọ́n gbìyànjú láti frustrate wọn ni ó ń gbìyànjú gan omi ló pọ̀jọ kà lọ àwọn èèyàn gbìyànjú láti make sure wípé Nàìjíríà ti ẹ̀ wà positioned well lágbàáyé ẹ̀ sì tún baṣẹ́ rẹ̀ jẹ́ torí pé ẹ̀rù owó gbà owó ìdàkọ̀ǹkọ̀ ẹjẹ́ àkóńbẹ́ ẹjẹ́ wá dọ́dọ̀ bọ̀dà lérè ọláyínká pẹ́ta tiẹ̀ ti gbúrò wọn nínú fídíò ìyẹn agbẹnusọ Wike àwọn náà manage media publicity rẹ̀ wọ́n wá ń bi léèrè pé kí ló dé tí ọ̀gá rẹ̀ Wike jẹ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ lówó ẹ̀jẹ̀ agbọ̀n tó fi dáhùn.
Nobody in the FCT. I also receive salary. I've received December salary.
Maybe you are special
No. Salary.
But let me land on my point.
Let us not confuse the people, misinform the people. The issue you are talking about is about casual. Let me use that word, casual workers. Casual worker in the sense that they are people that are engaged occasionally. You engage them when you need them. So they are not permanent workers. They are people that you engage. It's just like you need bricklayer now. You go to Artisan Market tomorrow morning and you pick 2 or 3 bricklayer to work with you. When they finish their job, they go back home. You pay them. So
yeah, but the issue of casual workers in itself is an anomaly. But let's stick with the issue here. Yeah. The issue of welfare, career progressions have, they've been stored for quite a while. The issue of training, retraining of staff. But you are saying that 10 of the 14 demands have been met. Yeah. Which aspects really have been met, or what exactly are you doing to address this concern?
Well, they talk about not payment of outstanding 5-month wage, wage
award. Yeah,
that has been the payment has started. It is already on. It's already on. They talk about promotion, whatever. I think promotion allowance and all that.
Yes, elongation of tenure of directors and
elongation of tenure of permanent secretary. It's not just about the FCT. The things like that are done when you don't want to disrupt a system. You have a system that is running and somebody is there, and you know that if this person is tenure of office or whatever the age, you should go on retirement, and there's no suitable person to replace that kind of person, it is a normal thing that is done. But the minister has said, okay, if you don't want it, I will not do it again. He has considered that it will not happen. I know of a certain director that should be retiring next month. Left to the minister because that director has been very useful, very active, very capable. Left to the minister will say, okay, let me extend. But this is not extending. It was discussed at the ESCO meeting last week. There was no extension. So that has been resolved. Which other one? You are talking about examination that civil people went for promotion examination and about less than 25% passed. Number one, assuming we are not considering less than 25% civil servant passed, is it the fault of the minister that you went for promotion examination and you did not pass? Should the minister just say you passed? And it is also not true that less than 25% passed. In the Federal Capital Development Authority (FCDA), over 70% passed.
Yes. We are grassroots people. We are the United Church. We are the grassroots people in Ogun State campaigning for good roads. We are at Iyanologbo in Ogun State. This road has been a death trap, deplorable road for years. Ogun State has tried to do this road to no avail. Ogun State has done it 5 times, but they could not succeed. But our president from Abuja gave order to the Minister of Works to do this road for us.
ó dá ohun ò kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ ṣe introduction máa yìí ni a ti gbé wá sórí ìròyìn tán arrest ẹ̀ nígbà kan gbó padà dé òun náà yí ẹnu padà òun náà kàn pé òun fún question and answer ni òun sì ti náà lóyún yẹn DSS ní Ogun State ó ní mọ́ criticize ìjọba Ogun State nípa ọ̀rọ̀ títì bẹ́ẹ̀ náà níbẹ̀ bá rí ó ní àlẹ̀mọ́ kan láyà tí wọ́n gbé sáyà ẹ rí àwòrán ààrẹ olódòdó ń bẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èèyàn wa ń bi wọ́n léèrè pé kí ló dé tẹ́ ẹ mú máa ń yí sáà mọ́ síbẹ̀ rí pèsè gidi ní í ṣe ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní àwọn tó mọ àṣírí ìdí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí wọ́n ti wá tú síta wọ́n lárákùnrin criticize lóòótọ́ wọ́n ní etí ìjọba Ogun State ò sì di pé nǹkan kan tó kàn wá jẹ́ kàyéfì ni pé àwọn ò mọ tí gómìnà eléyìí ṣe fún gbogbo àwọn celebrity àti gbogbo àwọn sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ́ wípé orí rẹ̀ náà mọ́ dábò ẹ̀ lé pé àìmọye títì ló ti pàkíyèsí ìjọba Ogun State sí tí ìjọba Ogun State sì ti gbé gbèsè tán ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ lórí rẹ̀ pé irú eléyìí ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ṣe gbọ́ o tó rà mọ́ gbèsè lẹ́yìn gan dáadáa ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ á mú ìdàkejì ọ̀rọ̀ yìí wá gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ṣe gbọ́ wọ́n ní títì tí ń sọ̀rọ̀ ń pa rẹ̀ yìí wọ́n ní kì í solódòdẹ ló ṣe wọ́n ní ìjọba Ogun State ló gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tán bẹ̀rẹ̀ títì nígbà tí ó wà tún wá padà ṣe fídíò ó wá tẹnu àbùkù bá ìjọba Ogun State gẹ́gẹ́ bọ́n sì sọ wọ́n wá ní ó wá yin ààrẹ olódòdẹ wọ́n níbẹ̀ náà ti ń fura sí wípé ó kàn ń fi ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì bojú ni pé bóyá òun náà fẹ́ mọ́ ṣe politics ń gbò bá yá lélẹ̀ tí ń gbé èèyàn kan sókè tí ń fa èèyàn kan wálẹ̀ wọ́n ní kò yóò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní torí ẹ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀ gbọ́ pé wọ́n gbé torí wọ́n tún ti gbé lánàá bá a ṣe gbọ́ bó bá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bí ò bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ áfò náà láǹfààní bó bá rí irú fídíò yìí kò náà sọ̀rọ̀ sí pé kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ń parọ́ ọmọ ni o ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èèyàn ní kí ló dé tó ṣe jẹ́ wípé Ogun State ní gbogbo títì tí ń sọ ń pa rẹ̀ wà tó sì jẹ́ wípé àwòrán olódòdó ló gbé sáyà ó ṣe gbé ti gómìnà wọn sáyà tó bá jẹ́ pé ó fẹ́ criticize dáadáa lóòótọ́ tó sì fẹ́ rí iṣẹ́ tó ṣe at least tó bá fẹ́ criticize èèyàn tó tún gbé àwòrán rẹ̀ náà sáyà tàbí kó o gbé tàn méjèèjì sáyà àbí. láwọn èèyàn wá ń kìlọ̀ fún wípé eré gẹ́lẹ́ ní báwọn olóṣèlú ṣe yìí o àyà ní kí n kọrin fún mo ní kí ló dé pé nípa àwòrán tó gbé sáyà mo ní orin wo ni kí n kọ ó ní what do you desire what do you desire sweet banana àyà yìí ò serious rárá àwọn wíru à ń sọ̀rọ̀ gidi ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní kán kìlọ̀ fún àwọn olóṣèlú ní bá ta géèmù yìí o àwọn èèyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ̀ o ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ni olórí ìjọ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ni tó bá máa criticize kó criticize pẹ̀lú ọgbọ́n Ọlọ́run àwọn tí ń bá àwọn olóṣèlú ṣe yìí wọn ìfẹ́ gbọ́ wọn ìfẹ́ kéèyàn criticize àwọn in fact ẹni tó fẹ́ ṣe títì gan tó olówó gidi tó fẹ́ ṣe títì ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọgbà àwọn ìgbà kan ṣe torí wọ́n máa ń rò pé wọ́n fẹ́ fi discredit iṣẹ́ àwọn ni tàbí kán gbà kan ṣe kán ní kán forúkọ àwọn sí pé ìjọba ló ṣe ṣùgbọ́n ẹni tàn ní òkòwò rẹ̀ lẹ̀ olóṣèlú Nàìjíríà ló ń bá ṣeré gèlè ó dẹ̀ já kó ń bẹ́ Ògùn State náà láti wá wà bọ́ọ̀dì sí Ìjẹ̀bú Òde lórí update ti Àwùjalẹ̀ inú mi dùn ayọ̀ mi kún fún process wọn ò ríró ẹ̀rí ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá kì í sì ṣẹlẹ̀ Yorùbá nìkan mo lè fẹ́ sọ pé wọn ò ríró ẹ̀rí lágbàáyé látìgbà tí mo ti gbọ́njú wípé wọ́n ń ṣètò bọ́n ṣe jẹ ọba wọ́n sì ń fi gbogbo process hàn wá bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé àwọn aláìmọ̀kànmọ̀kàn kan àwọn tán nígbàgbọ́ nínú nǹkan kan rí nítorí ibi tí àwọn ìlú bàrà táwọn olórí Nàìjíríà ti lù wọ́n ibi tán sìn wọ́n dé kì í ṣe ibi tán ti lè ní ìgbàgbọ́ wọ́n ní bójúbójú náà ń ṣe olóró ń bọ̀ mo ní bó ṣe bójúbójú jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ tí gbogbo àwọn ọba bá ń gbèrú ìgbésẹ̀ yìí gbogbo báàgì tẹ̀ ń wò ńlẹ̀ yìí rí i pé orúkọ tán kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn afọbajẹ 1 2 3 4 5 wọ́n pọ̀ lọ sọ àdàdà gbogbo ohun tó sì wà nínú báàgì kì í ṣòwò kẹ́ ẹ mọ́ rò pé bóyá wọ́n fẹ́ wá gbégbẹ̀mù fún àwọn afọbajẹ wọ́n ní gbogbo òwe àti fáìlì àwọn ọmọ ọba ọmọ oyè pátápátá ló wà ńbẹ̀ ìkọ̀ọ̀kan nínú báàgì afọbajẹ kọ̀ọ̀kan afọbajẹ ti yẹ̀ wò wọ́n ti mínítì sí i wọ́n náà ti dífá lórí ìkọ̀ọ̀kan nu wọn wọ́n ti mínítì sí i wọ́n ní wọ́n ti obìnrin wà nú wọn. gbogbo àwọn fáìlì tó sì wà ń bẹ̀ yìí wọ́n ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ rẹ̀ tó ti DSS wà ń bẹ̀ wọ́n ti prófáìlì wọn wọ́n ti lọ béèrè wọn wọ́n náà tẹ̀ka gan bá a ṣe gbọ́ pé ìkọ̀ọ̀kan wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe rí yẹn mo wá ní ẹjẹ́ á yìn wọ́n. èmi ò rà afọbajẹ tó ṣe gudugudu méje yàyà mẹ́fà báyìí rí ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú ẹ̀yin ará Ìjẹ̀bú ẹ̀wẹ̀ so màmí ti mọ́tò èkó gbóná o mo fẹ́ fi kọ́kọ́rẹ́ mu gaàrí ẹnì sun kírun bàbá mi òkè ńlá Adédọ̀tun mo gbé kùndùsì fún mo gbọ́ ẹ̀yin Ìjẹ̀bú ẹ ṣe dáadáa mo gbé sàdánkátà fún yín yóò yẹ yín àtúbọ̀tán rẹ ni ó sì bá jáde tó jẹ́ pé báwùjalẹ̀ tuntun bá jẹ báyìí inú wa ó mọ̀ ọdún kò ní í sí eléyìí tí ó jẹ́ láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì sí mẹ́ta tí ó yí ìwà padà. Jọ̀ọ́ àwọn tí sì ń fura sí eléyìí tán ń ṣe yìí wọ́n kàn ń ṣe bójúbójú rẹ̀ fi wọ́n lẹ̀ o bá a bá ń ṣe náà bá rí irú bójúbójú báyìí bá dáa abẹ́rẹ́ wọ́n ṣe tò létò ni. Wọ́n ní he who fail to plan to fail. Èèyàn gbọ́kẹ́ gbogbo téèyàn ó bá ṣe láyé yìí pàápàá jùlọ níbi téèyàn bá ti pè ní ibi gíga. Ìtumọ̀ ẹ̀ náà ni wípé gbogbo iṣẹ́ tán fi sórí kinní wọn mú ní kékeré wọ́n sì fi hàn wá wọ́n tún wà transparent. Ìṣèjọba mélòó yàtọ̀ sí ti Ìbàdàn bó tẹ̀ pé àwọn ará Ìbàdàn náà ò ṣe tiwọn báyìí ṣùgbọ́n Ìbàdàn náà tún wà transparent. Wọ́n ti mẹ́ni tí ó jọba kò sí pé wọ́n bá yàn kankan dù ú nítorí ẹ̀ ni ò ṣe sí nídìí pé wọ́n ṣe ń fi kinní. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn orí oyè orí àpèrè tẹ́ rí tó kù nílẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn dọ́là ẹlòmíì ó máa jọba ọdún 15 years ó sì máa pàrà lé ẹjọ́ tó sì máa bá sí ẹjọ́. So ìbá dáa ká gbé transparency ìgbàlódé lélẹ́yìí ìgbàlódé rèé kò sí tó ṣe ìgbàlódé o bàbá ti mójútó. A sì lè mọ̀ sí mbẹ́ nígbà tán dáfá ṣùgbọ́n rẹ́kọ̀dù fáwà ń bẹ̀ wọ́n sì ní ọmọ oyè kọ̀ọ̀kan náà tí ń lọ dífá fúnra rẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n kí ni Ifá ó sọ fún oníkálukú náà ó dọwọ́ babaláwo àbò oníṣègùn tó bá dífá fún wọn adífá tó bá dífá fún wọn ó dọwọ́ olúwo tó bá dífá fún wọn tí ó bá sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ torí àwọn olúwo míì náà lè ní ìwọ lọ bá mú ọba Ifá yìí sì dáámú yàn èrò pọ̀ tí ó mú kan nù wọn. Ẹ̀bẹ̀ láwa ń bẹ gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú àtẹ̀yin ọmọ Oyè èyí tó bá já sí lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀fọwọ́wọ́wọ́ kọ̀wọ̀ lè mú ẹjẹ́ àpò ń bẹ́ o ẹjẹ́ àwádé lórí ti Ọ̀yọ́. Àwọn ẹgbẹ́ kan jáde l'Ábùjá wọn kóra wọn jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ti Aláàfin Ọ̀yọ́ lẹ́yìn pé ọmọ ọkọ làwọn àwọn ìsọmọ àlè pé kí Aláàfin wọn gbà pé Aláàfin ò gbọdọ̀ gbà kan rotate anything. Nínú àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn lónìí àmú wọn bọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lẹ́ẹ̀bá arákùnrin kan tó sọ òkodoro ọ̀rọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n pọ̀tọ̀pọ̀tọ̀ ló náà ń pàpà ó tabalé ó tabá oko á wà ó bóyá àwọn Ọ̀yọ́ ó dáhùn torí n tó fi empire wé ó lágbára. Ẹ jáde nínú àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn àfẹ́ láàgùn jìnnà nínú Abala Lerefe. Ó dáa níbẹ̀ ẹjẹ́ àbùsẹ̀ gàdé ẹjẹ́ àṣẹ pápá ká bọ̀dì sí USA Diplomat Embassy Mission ní Èkó níbi tá a ti gbọ́ tán sọ wípé on the 16th ǹjẹ́ kò ti di ìjarun báyìí àbí jẹrin ni a gbọ́ wípé òun ni last day fún US Mission Nigeria Ambassador. Ìyẹn Ambassador Mill wọ́n ní on the 16th January 2026 òun ni last day rẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé láìpẹ́ ìlàgbé tí ààrẹ wọn ní Amẹ́ríkà tó sọ wípé òun fẹ́ yí ọwọ́ padà òun fẹ́ ṣe àtúntò àti àtúnṣe. Àwa mọ̀ retí ẹni tán máa gbé wá ṣùgbọ́n kó tó dìgbà yẹn wọ́n ní ẹni tó jẹ́ Deputy Chief of Mission Kate Effin wọ́n ní òun ni ó gba ipò rẹ̀ until further notice. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan kan ni mo fẹ́ fàyọ nínú àwòrán tẹ́ ń wò yìí tí mo fẹ́ fàyọ náà ni wípé iṣẹ́ mọ̀ pé àwòrán rẹ̀ tún ti fẹ́ dìjà. Ó ti fẹ́ dìjà ẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà ń play a bad role ní ìṣèjọba àti ìṣèlú Nàìjíríà ní ìsìn. Àwọn èèyàn ní kí ló dé tó jẹ́ wípé aṣọ Yorùbá ló wọ̀ mo lẹ́ẹ̀bà kó aṣọ mẹ́ta sí lọ́rùn at the same time kó wọ ti Yíbò wọ ti Yorùbá kó wọ ta Haúsá bóyá kó wọ ṣòkòtò Haúsá kó wọ ìpèlé ti Yíbò àbí ìpèlé kọ́ náà máa ń ró kó wá wọ fìlà ti Yorùbá kẹ́ ẹ kúkú sọ di wàsóbíà. Gbogbo nǹkan lẹ máa ń rí ìdí mí nìsí gbogbo nǹkan pátápátá èèyàn wọṣọ Yorùbá ẹ wò bó ṣe gúnrégé lọ́rùn rẹ̀ kí ló kàn yín bẹ́ẹ̀ sí ọ.
Breaking. Tinubu confers GCON on business associate, convicted money launderer Gilbert Chaguri. So in case you don't know, Gilbert Chaguri is a Nigerian Lebanese that has been in the Nigerian political space spanning over close to 50 years now, 40 to 50 years. This man is actually the man that was at the center of laundering money for the late Sani Abacha. In case you don't understand what we're saying. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was presumed to be the person funding Nadeco, the June 12 people that were fighting Abacha to restore democracy. And the main man that was laundering money for Abacha is he's currently Tinubu's godfather. In fact, he has been Tinubu's godfather for the span of since Tinubu's days in politics, from his Lagos days to today, because that man currently owns virtually VI. He owns Echo Atlantic. He owns virtually everything you see on the island. He is the landlord of Lagos. He's the Jagaban. This man called Gilbert Chaguri. You're doubting me. This man is the man that has received the biggest infrastructural project contract in the history of Nigeria. Without any bidding, without any public announcement, Tinubu gave this man the biggest project in our history, which is the so-called Lagos Coastal Highway. That project is worth $11 billion US. That project is enough. The money that's in that project is enough to fix all our infrastructure in Nigeria. It's enough to build hospitals across every local government in Nigeria. It's enough to build universities across almost all the states in Nigeria. That money alone can transform Nigeria infrastructure. All our bad roads, it will fix all the bad roads across the country. Tinubu that carried that contract and gave it to his godfather. That is the man at the center of the storm right now. Tinubu has now gone further to award him the second highest honor on the land. This is a man that it is well known to have laundered money for Abacha. These are the people that are going to fight corruption in Nigeria. These are the people that you want to pay taxes to. Nigeria, we are in for a very rude shock. Honestly speaking, if we don't stand up and fight for our rights. No way.
Abẹ́ gbọ́ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn míì tún fún wa ní version míì lórí tarakùnrin wọ́n yìn nínú iléeṣẹ́ TVC ni o wọ́n ní wọ́n ṣe fún lóyè yẹn gan ló dáa ẹ jẹ́ á gbọ́ the other side of the coin ká tó wá sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí bọ́rọ̀ bá ti yẹ̀ wà lórí ẹ̀ ni.
When you talk about businessmen in Nigeria, it's not just about the fact that he started his operations in 1971. He has consistently sustained these businesses, providing thousands and thousands of jobs, for Nigerians, and he ensured that he's breaking new grounds in every area. You can look at Eco Atlantic, what he did with Eco Atlantic. Look at the hospitality industries, where he has made enormous contribution. For me, I think he should be celebrated. He deserved, to get the GCON. So thank you, Mr. Abashaguri. That's the way of saying, we appreciate you. You are one of us. You are a Nigerian like us. We appreciate you.
Ó dára gẹ́gẹ́ bí n tá tún gbọ́ gan wọ́n lòun gan ní iléeṣẹ́ ìròyìn tá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí àwọn tó kóra wọn jọ yìí wọ́n lòun gan ni wọ́n fi ṣe òun gan ló ní torí wọ́n dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ pé òun ló jẹ́ kó easy fáwọn láti mọ broadcast láàrin gbùngbùn Èkó wọ́n sì ní Lagosian ni mo wá ń wò pé abó ni ẹ má jẹ́ nsọ́n tí mi ò mọ̀. Ẹ wo bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe lanú lẹ́bí go tàdáre o so Jagaba nǹkan tún wà níbì kan ó dé ẹjẹ́ àpò ó sún mi o ẹjẹ́ wá dé ṣáìdì Àgègè níbi tá a ti gbọ́ tán sọ wípé ọ̀rọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin onímọ́tò Uber kan àti ọ̀gbẹ́ni oníbẹ̀ǹsì ló bá jù lẹ́sẹ̀ lójú ló bá gba kí ọwọ́ rẹ̀ ló bá mú lọ. Ló bá sàwọn èèyàn káyèéfì wípé sóun nídìí òun náà ni sóun ló gbé mọ́tò fún ni kó mọ́ fi ṣe Uber ni bó ló ṣe jẹ́ bó lọ́rọ̀ ṣe rí láàrin wọn nígbà tí ara oní Uber ó ṣàfi balẹ̀ tí ó rọ̀rọ̀ sọ tó kò lọ hospital ẹ̀jẹ̀ agbọ̀n tó sọ.
I'm just coming back from the hospital where I went to do X-ray. I was treated yesterday, given injection and some drugs. So I was told to come back today for the X-ray, which I have done. But they said the result will be out tomorrow. And my brother called me that he was going there to the scene of the... And on getting there, he was told that the man came back yesterday around 6 o'clock after we have left the place around 5 o'clock. That he was still even bragging that I will be the one to repair his car, which I didn't even know anything about. My car did not get any scratch from you. I'm not the one behind you. I'm not the one in front of you. It just has maybe because of my small stature. So that was what everybody in the filling station told him. So the man now left dropped his phone number with the security guard at the filling station. So my brother now called him. I didn't know what they have discussed yet because I have not called my brother.
Ó tiẹ̀ dá pé kámẹ́rà mú gbogbo agbára tó bá ní ọmọ Nàìjíríà mo jẹ́rìí ọmọ Nàìjíríà wọ́n á pélé lórí ṣùgbọ́n irú ẹ̀ náà ti ṣẹlẹ̀ rí tí kan náà àwọn ọmọlẹ́gbẹ̀mọ aṣòfin pupa bòróró báyìí tó nà kan náà ọmọ Uber àṣẹ̀yìnwá àṣẹ̀yìnbọ̀ bọ́ ọmọ Nàìjíríà ṣe gbèjà rẹ̀ tó VDM náà gbèjà rẹ̀ ó gbẹ̀yìn gbẹ̀bọ̀ jẹ́ fún ọmọ Nàìjíríà ni ó rè gba owó wọn bẹ̀ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n kẹ́ lè mọ̀ pé ẹranko pọ̀ Nàìjíríà la ṣe gbé ìròyìn kẹ́ lè rojú wọn wọ́n lè parí ẹ̀ láàrin ara wọn wọ́n lè fẹsẹ̀ lé tọ́ o ṣùgbọ́n kẹ́ lè mọ̀rú àwọn ẹranko tó wà Nàìjíríà ó sì dá ó fi nọ́mbà rẹ̀ lẹ̀ bóyá náà wàá ní ẹ̀rí torí àwa ìfarí apá kan dápá kan sí bóyá náà wàá lẹ́rìí pé wọ́n gbá mọ́tò bó wọ́n ti ẹ̀ wá gbá mọ́tò rẹ̀ sí ojú gbígbá lókù bọ́ ọ bá lọ fọ́ lójú ńkọ́ tàbí kó rè gbàbẹ̀ kó sọdá sọ̀rùn. Ẹ wo ọmọ Nàìjíríà àwọn agbọ́n n tó ń gbẹ́ lómi ìdẹ́wọ̀n nìyẹn já kó ń bẹ́ẹ̀ já dọ́dọ̀ arábìnrin èmi ò mọ̀ tó lọ sí ní ibi ẹ̀rọ ọlọ́ta o kí ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ti ẹ̀rọ ọlọ́ta ló mọ̀ yìí mọ́ irun orí rẹ̀ mo ní irun ọdún kò tí ì tó tú kì í ṣeré kì í ṣàwàdà o abẹ́rẹ́ bó ṣe lọ lórí ń bẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ló yọ o wọ́n ṣẹ̀ ń gé irun yẹn dànù ni o.
Sorry.
ẹ wo orí koyo aṣáàdúpẹ́ irun ló gé orí ògé o. Ẹ jẹ́ á wá lọ sínú ìròyìn yìí ní Zamfara lẹ̀ ń wò yìí níbi tán ti pa àwọn ọmọ ológun nípakúpa. Ẹ jẹ́ á sọ dínú àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn ó sì ní láàánú ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọ ológun náà pa wọ́n bọ̀ ná 40 terrorists náà bá ilẹ̀ dọ́gba.
King of the South South, the King of the South South, the King of the South South, Abako rescue, the light of Edo, the hope of Edo, the first son of Jesus Christ, the hope of Edo people. God bless the day Edo people elected Senator Mode Ogbeni, the light of Edo, the best governor Edo have ever get. Progressive governors, the only governors that stand with Asiwaju, they never betrayed. God bless the executive governor of Edo State, Abako. My life principal, Abako. My life principal, Abako. The governor of Kogi State, Ododo, the finest governor of Kogi State, the finest governor of Kogi State, Ododo, the governor of Kogi State, Ododo. Can you live long with the governor of Edo? No matter. Oh God, Edo Ekiti. Edo in Ekiti. God bless the governor. Oh, see our wonderful brothers, the governor and the senate leaders and the senate.
Ilé ayé fúngbà díẹ̀ ni o, ọmọ aráyé ẹ ṣeré o. Ilé ayé fúngbà díẹ̀ ni o, ọmọ aráyé ẹ ṣeré o. Àfi ká máa hùwà rere torí rere ló pé. Ọmọ aráyé ẹ ṣeré o. Ilé ayé fúngbà díẹ̀ ni o, ọmọ aráyé ẹ ṣeré o. Ilé ayé fúngbà díẹ̀ ni o, ọmọ aráyé ẹ ṣeré o. Mo ní gbé ọ̀tọ̀ bẹ̀ jáde. Àfi ká máa hùwà rere torí rere ló pé. Ọmọ aráyé ẹ ṣeré o. Àfi ká máa hùwà rere torí rere ló pé ó jàre. Ọmọ aráyé ẹ ṣeré o. Come and dance, Ebenezer, do your best and leave the rest. Come and dance, Ebenezer, Ebenezeri, do your best and leave the rest. Money, come and dance, yo, Ebenezer. Do your best and leave the rest. Do your best and leave the rest. Mo ṣe get here ni. Yóò yá pò ní yẹlẹ̀. Kúrin bàbá wa Ebenezer Obe Commander, ara àwọn lẹ́jẹ̀ndì wa tá a gbọ́dọ̀ fi ṣeré nù. Òun la fi wọlé lónìí o pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ àṣerere, ìkà òpè ara, rere ló pé ń tá a bá ṣe sílẹ̀. Òun náà ni àwọn ọmọ wa ó bá o. Ẹ ń gbèbù ìkà, wọn lọ́mọ ọmọ rẹ̀ ó jẹ́ ń bẹ́ o, kì í sọmọ ọmọ nìkan, láìnéèjì rẹ̀ gan ó jẹ́ ń bẹ́. Àfi tá a bá rí inú àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ tó náà wá tún irúgbìn míì gbìn tó jẹ́ èbù èso rere tí ò gbin èbù ìkà. Eléyìí mo fi kí káàbọ̀ sínú ìròyìn tòní ìpàdé ọlọ́mọlé ọlọ́mọ ìlú ọlọ́mọ orílẹ̀-èdè lọ́tún lọ́jọ́ yọ àtúnṣe dé o. Ọlọ́run lójú orí bẹ́ẹ̀, ojúmọ́ kan àrà kan ìmọ̀ kan èdè kan ìsáwa náà Ọlọ́run ni o. Nítorí gbogbo ìgbà tóòrùn bá ti ń yọ ó bá òrùn dá májẹ̀mú, kí ló wá dé tí ò wà ní máwa náà yọ bí ọjọ́. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run o. Adúpẹ́ pé òkun adá gbogbo ọpẹ́ padà sọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run Èdùmàrè. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mo mọ rírì gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, gbogbo ẹ̀yin mọ̀mọ́ ẹ̀yin bàbá, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tọ́lọ́run fi kẹ́ mi tó fèmí náà kẹ́. Adúpẹ́ àmọ́ lóore o fún táìmù yín torí time is money, time na money o, time na money. Ó ṣe mí bí àwọn orin àtijọ́ nostalgia, kí n gbé yín wọnú orin àtijọ́ kí n fi rìn gínìgínì. Torí ẹ̀ náà ṣe fi mí joyè tán pè mí ní ibà rìn gínìgínì, ibà tíkúmíyàn tíkúyù rìn gínìgínì, tíkúmíyàn tíkúyù rìn gínìgínì, gbogbo ẹ̀ la mọ́ sọ ọ́ dorin. Èmi náà ń pè ní ibà ọ̀pàpà parada, níbi táyà ti parada tí ń dọ̀gá rẹ̀ parada ò dáa yá ọ̀nà Abala comment section abẹ́lẹ̀ yín olólùfẹ́ wa. Èmi mò ń jẹ́ ibà ọ̀pàká, ọkọ̀ àwọn òpìkí, ọkọ̀ àwọn Swiss 16 ìyàwó mi pọ̀ rẹ̀bẹ̀tẹ̀ adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run wọ́n fi jíǹkì mi wọ́n fi kẹ́ mi ni ẹ tún lè pè mí ní ibà kọ̀ǹfàmù ẹ̀kọ́ tó sẹ́ndì ẹ̀ lórí ìkànnì àmọ́ kọ̀ǹfàmù ròyìn àìbá wọn gbé ìròyìn fògàn náà ó bá wá ṣe mistake à ń padà bọ̀ náà nú o tá a wà mójú ajéku nísọ̀ tá a sì wá sọ níwájú kámẹ́rà tá a ti ṣe mistake náà ni wípé amẹ́hẹ̀wò a sì ṣàtúnṣe nísàn kan náà bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ẹ lè pè mí ní ibà sọ́rì ní pápá àpálá àwọn ṣe sọ́rì bá a bá ti rí i pé àṣẹ èèyàn kan bọ́ bá ṣẹ̀wá náà a sáré ṣe sọ́rì so mo ṣe sọ́rì sí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ẹni mi ò sẹ́yìn ẹgbà sọ́rí mi bẹ́ẹ̀ ó dáyà lè ṣe ká mọ́ sẹ̀ra wa àwọn tá a ṣẹ̀ wà lórí ibi Ọlọ́run ló ń fa àánú wò wá ní fi àánú wa sí wọn lọ́kàn àní ṣe ayé o láṣẹ Ọlọ́run Èdùmàrè àní tójú ilẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ èmi náà ń pè ní ibà sàn láàrin ajé ni mo ní pẹ̀kọ̀rọ̀ tó bá ti wá kófìrí ẹni tí ò rìn sàn pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ tí wọ́n sì ń fi gbogbo ara gbogbo ọkàn rìn sàn pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ jọ̀ọ́ stop rìn sàn mọ́ rìn sàn pẹ̀lú ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ o rí gbalé sí mọ́nà tán kọ́ ọmọ bá gbalé sí mọ́níyà ṣùgbọ́n ìwọ náà jọ make sure pé òun rìn sàn pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ń bá rìn sàn pẹ̀lú rẹ o ó ní terms and conditions nú o yọ ìyá kò ní yẹ ẹ lẹ ibà gbé wọn débẹ̀ ibà Sanawole ibà kọjú abẹ́ǹkò ibà fayọ̀ pọ́ọ̀tì ibà múlòdùn iná rẹ o ayẹwa kò ní yẹ ẹ lẹ ó dáa ká mọ́ dènà pẹnu ká mọ́ pẹ́jù gbogbo eléyìí tẹ́ bá pàdé inú Abala Lerefe ó ti dàfí ẹ̀yìn tí egun fi sọ ayọjú lójú fèrèsé ní ẹjẹ́ àmọ́ ẹgbẹ́nu ọ̀nà wọlé Ọlọ́run ti mú kọ́kọ́rọ́ lé a lọ́wọ́ alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ nínú àwọn àkórí ìròyìn tá àkọ́kọ́ mọ́ mẹ́nubà á padà sí Ọ̀yọ́ o níbi tí a ti gbọ́ wọ́n sọ wípé àwọn ẹgbẹ́ kan ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ wọ́n ní wọ́n yarí wípé ọba Aláàfin ò gbọ́dọ̀ gbà Àbújá náà wà ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ ni wọ́n ní ọba Aláàfin ò gbọ́dọ̀ gbà pé chairman of the Ọba in council ní gbogbo Ọ̀yọ́ pé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ rotate ẹ̀ á fún yín ní update lórí rẹ̀ bọ́n sì sọ gẹ́lẹ́ náà láàmú abábá ti wá kó ń bẹ̀ tán á wà yà ní makoko níbi tá a ti gbọ́ tán ní gómìnà wọn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ náà àwọn náà ti ganu sí máìkì wọ́n ní gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tí ń fò gànà lórí bọ́n ṣe rè wọlé ní makoko wọ́n ní kí n mọ́ ọmọ Nàìjíríà nìkan ló wà ń bẹ̀ Ghana wà ń bẹ̀ àìmọye àwọn èèyàn tí ìtì ẹ̀sọ́ ọmọ Nàìjíríà tán sodo síbẹ̀ pé ṣùgbọ́n tó ń kà wọ́n lóminú gangan ni wípé àwọn wá ń gbọ́ pé àwọn NGOs kan pé wọ́n ń lo makoko láti fi gba owó wọlé lọ́wọ́ àwọn òyìnbó wọ́n ń gba grant mú nílẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan èmi náà mọ́ rí àwọn aláwọ̀ funfun tán mọ́ bó aṣọ́lẹ̀ tán wọ sinmi sábẹ́ nìkan tán mọ́ jírò tán mọ́ lọ káàkiri pẹ̀lú boat tán láwọn wá ń sọlidé míì gan ní òun lo ọ̀sẹ̀ mélòó kan ó ní kàkà tó ń fi dé sí ìlú hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì ilé ìgbafẹ́ ó níbẹ̀ ló mọ́ dé sí ó nílé ń bẹ̀ ó kọ́lé ti ẹ̀rín gidi ó yàtọ̀ táwọn fún lẹ̀ sósanwó lẹ̀ sáà lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ń lo èrò nílùú wọn tọ́kàn dédé lọ múlẹ̀ sórí omi kan tó sì mọ́ gbé bẹ̀ ó dáa o wọ́n ní if you go to Rome do like the Romans ó dáa bóyá torí ẹ̀ náà ló náà ṣe bí àwọn ará Makoko ṣùgbọ́n gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ti sọ wípé gbogbo ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn òròyìn tó ń gbé nípa Makoko wọ́n ní kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ o wọ́n ní ẹnu àwọn lẹ́ẹ̀tì gbọ́ òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ń pa Makoko ó dáa ń bọ̀ ń bẹ́ àti ìdè o bá a bá wá kó ń bẹ̀ tán lọ sí Zamfara bá a ṣe ń gbọ́ ìròyìn wípé iléeṣẹ́ ológun orí òkè wọ́n ń dáná yá àwọn Boko Haram ní Borno wọ́n náà pa 40 nù wọn àmú satellite fídíò rẹ̀ wá ìpẹ́ náà látún ti rí fídíò míì tán ti pa àwọn ọmọ iléeṣẹ́ ológun yànnàyànnà àtọlọ́pàá àwọn JTF wọ́n pa inspector kan tẹ́ bá rí ẹ̀jẹ̀ owó àpò rẹ̀ báyìí wọ́n ṣe ń kó ni wípé kò lè mú kò lè lọ náwó lọ́rùn àwọn akẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ ibẹ̀ ni mo ti wá gbọ́ tí kan nu wọn sọ wípé ẹ máa wo àwọn wèrè tó ní káwọn wá ṣe amnesty fún àwọn agbésùnmọ̀mí yìí o lọ́rọ̀ kan àmúfọ́nrán rẹ̀ bọ́ wá blọ́ ẹ̀ díẹ̀ o torí ẹ̀jẹ̀ pọ̀ bá ti wá kó ń bẹ̀ tán á wà yà ní ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re àti ẹgbẹ́ Ọ̀hánẹ́sẹ̀ níbi tán náà ti yarí wípé àní kastina àwọn ò ní gbà kán ṣe amnesty fún àwọn 70 míì tán tó fẹ́ ṣe amnesty fún pé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́n ṣe ń pa àwọn ọmọ iléeṣẹ́ ológun ṣeré ẹ̀yìn wá ń gbé amnesty sọnù kiri ẹ̀fin tí ò jọra wọn wéra wọn ọjọ́ wo lẹ gbọ́ pé àwọn tán kó àwọn tí wọ́n tú ọ tán sọ̀rẹ́ńdà gbogbo kínní wọn ní Cross River ń jẹrin ọjọ́ wo lẹ gbọ́ pé àwọn pààyàn ṣé bí àwọn ń gba owó bí ìbátan bá ń gbowó ṣàkọọ́lẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba ni pé àwọn làwọn ní nǹkan àlùmọ́ọ́nì ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn lẹ́tí ń wá epo ṣùgbọ́n àwọn eléyìí wọ́n ń torí ẹ̀sìn pààyàn ni méjèèjì ni ò dáa o torí wọ́n ń lò bọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ọjọ́ wo lẹ́yìn fínúfíndọ̀ tẹ́ wá kó nǹkan ogun lẹ̀ ṣé bí ní kastina náà sọ fún wa wípé wọ́n ní bọ́jẹ́ẹ̀tì fún àwọn agbésùnmọ̀mí àwọn bandits up to 300 million àná amúròyìn yẹn wá fún yín tí bàbá yẹn tú àṣírí wọn láwùsá bẹ́ẹ̀ náà láti wọ́n tún fún wa fọ́nrán bíi tí àwọn wèrè yẹn ní local government kan náà táwọn bandits yẹn tún ti lọ ṣe oró bí agbọ́n gbóná tó náà fi ná 300 million ẹ mọ̀ iye tó ń ta àwọn nǹkan ogun tó ń rà ni àwọn rocket launcher gbogbo àwọn kìíní gbóná tó náà tán wàá rò pé ẹ lè fowó tù wọ́n àṣìṣe ńlá ni gbáà kẹ́ ẹ mọ́ lérò pé ẹ lè fowó tù wọ́n lójú ẹnu wọn ti fẹ̀ ẹ wo bá ṣe ń dúnàdúrà pẹ̀lú àwọn tó ń jí kó ní Kwara ní Kogi ẹ wo iye tó ń gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn tó ń béèrè lọ́rọ̀ kan àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re náà dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí o Ọ̀hánẹsẹ̀ náà dá sí wọ́n ní kí gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ àwọn Haúsá yẹn rí ìgbẹ́nu wọn sọ̀hún wọ́n láwọn ò ní gbà kò jọra wọn bàbá tí wàá pò ń bẹ̀ tán á wà yà nínú ìròyìn tí ọmọ tẹ̀lé o ẹjẹ́ á lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ Bọ̀dàdélé Aláké lórí ọ̀rọ̀ gold refinery náà ti wá dá padà owó bàbá Ìjẹ̀bú fún gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ Arẹwà gbogbo àwọn northern elders wọ́n ti dá padà fún wọn wípé ẹ wá ń bí ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀run lẹ́ ń sọ lẹ́nu Èkó kọ́lé ẹ̀ kan gbé kinní sí wọ́n láwọn ò fìgbà kan sọ fún yín pé federal government ti ṣe refinery tán ti ń fọ gold sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ wá gbọ́ bó ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan refinery tán ti ń fọ gold wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lóòótọ́ sì tó bẹ́ẹ̀ yín kọ́ lẹ́ sọ tán situate ẹ̀ fún ta ni refinery à ń bọ̀ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ lónìí náà ni kò ní dọ́là ọmọ Nàìjíríà náà ìyá gbà wọn pé èyí tó jẹ́ ti Kaduna bó ló ṣe jẹ́ ṣe èyí tí ẹ tún ṣe só ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ já wá dórí ìròyìn kan tá a mú wá fún yín lánàá. wọ́n sọ wípé over 100 church members ni àwọn ajínigbé tán réèkì káàkiri ní Kaduna lánàá ṣùgbọ́n commissioner of police Muhammad Rabiu wọ́n ló ti ganu sí máìkì wípé kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ o ìròyìn fò ganan ni o lóòótọ́ wọ́n pe àwọn síbẹ̀ lóòótọ́ wọ́n àwọn ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì kan ló pe àwọn sí àwọn ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ni òun tán sọ ni àbí ìjọba ni ò tí ì ṣe àwọn ọlọ́pàá ni ò tí ì ṣe iṣẹ́ ìwádìí wọn kó kójú òṣùwọ̀n à ń bọ̀ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ àmọ́ wá fún yín àwọn Abala ṣe mistake lórí eléyìí o wọ́n bára wọn fà wípé kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ bá a bá ṣe mistake a sọ fún yín nísàn kan náà bá a bá ti wá kó ń bẹ̀ tán á fún yín update lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Rivers State bọ̀dà Jídé Òtítọ́jú náà wà ń kalẹ̀ níbi tá a ti ń gbọ́ tán sọ wípé ẹni tó jẹ́ CJ wọn ní Rivers State wọ́n ló ti tẹ́wọ́ gba lẹ́tà impeachment tílé ẹjọ́ sì sọ wípé kò gbọ́dọ̀ tẹ́wọ́ gba lẹ́tà impeachment ti Fubara wọ́n ní làwọn ẹgbẹ́ APC náà bá dá sí i náà bá ń kìlọ̀ fún wípé ó gbọ́dọ̀ tẹ́wọ́ gba any letter gbogbo bọ́rọ̀ bá ṣe jẹ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ update Rivers State Fubara àtọ̀gá rẹ̀ àmúbọ̀ fún yín lónìí náà ni kò ní dọ́là o bàbá tí wàá kó ń bẹ̀ tán àkórí ìròyìn wa sáà ti kó káàtì kó já lórí ẹ̀ wá yà ní kí wá sóun nìkan wá yà ní Arise TV náà ó fẹ́ yà láàrin Rufai àti lọ́ọ̀yà kan tó lóun mòfin ju Rufai Òsèní lọ Rufai Òsèní náà ní òkìyẹ òun lè mọ̀ jẹ́ lọ́ọ̀yà ṣùgbọ́n náà mòfin wọ́n fẹ́ tutọ́ síra wọn lójú give me the passage of reply give me the time to reply I have the right to reply ó mọ̀ fẹ́ díjà àmúhọ́bọ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Fubara àti Wike ó dà ní rí jù báyìí lọ́nu gbogbo àwọn àkórí ìròyìn bàbá dénú àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn àmọ́ fẹ̀ lójú ní pápá àpọ̀ ẹja ya píkṣọ̀ wa ẹja ya mọ́ mi abiyakísí wọ́nyí ìyáálé gbogbogbò wọ́n ti ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹlẹ́hà pé ìgbà wo ni ta ló há ẹlẹ́hà ìgbà wo ni mo há ìyàwó táwọn ò mọ̀ ẹlẹ́hà ti dà áwò bóyá nu abala comment section ni wọ́n dá wọ́n wá ní kí ló dé tó jẹ́ wípé Mushin nìkan la mọ̀ ṣe mú nítorí tá a bá fẹ́ ya fótò kékeré wọn ní ká ṣe Mushin tẹnu wa ká lè rí eyín wa Mushin eyín wá sì funfun gbà náà ìsìn ní òfunfun mọ́ àfẹn tó bá lọ sọ́dọ̀ dentist tó ń rè é fọ́ ó dáa kí ni ká ṣe lónìí ẹjá sí Òṣòdì náà lóyìn wá jáde ẹjá Òṣòdì ibo ni ká wá ṣe ká ṣe mọ́nà tán eyín wa náà yọ mọ́nà tán ó dà o lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ mọ́níyà ní gbalé sí mọ́níyà ní mọ́yà lágbára Ọlọ́run Èdùmàrè ẹ̀sìn cheese àdáyébá láti mọ cheese gbogbo eyín wa ní ó fẹ́ gangan ló fẹ́ eyín wa síta dáadáa ẹ̀sìn cheese ẹ̀sìn wẹ̀dẹ̀ ẹ̀sìn ayọ̀ mi kún ẹnu ẹni lèyàn fi pé tèmi dire o ayọ̀ mi kún yóò sì mọ kún sí àmì àṣẹ Èdùmàrè aláwọ̀ àṣẹwà pàkà àfi pàkà fọ́tò ayọ̀nù fọ́tò wa wọn nílò fún RIP láti Olódùmarè alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ já lọ iléeṣẹ́ ológun níbi tá a ti gbọ́ wọ́n ní àmì wọ́n ní ìfura ni wọ́n fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọn báyìí bọ́n ṣe ń wọlé náà ń wòde bọ́n ṣe ń wòta náà ń wọnú ilé wípé ilé láti kẹsàn-án ròde àti wípé kòkòrò ti ń jẹ̀fọ́ ìdí ẹ̀fọ́ ló wà ibi tí wọ́n ti tẹ torchlight wọn sínú ilé náà ti rí arákùnrin kan lára wọn tí ọwọ́ ti bà tán sọ wípé òun gangan ló líìkì fídíò ibi táwọn Boko Haram tí wọ́n ti lọ fi IED àtáàkì àwọn ọmọ iléeṣẹ́ ológun ní Borno tán fi kú rẹpẹtẹ àmú ikú wọn bọ̀ o ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni wèrè yìí ìkan lára àwọn rèé ó tá a ṣe ń pariwo wípé ẹ mọ́ ṣe negotiation ẹ mọ́ deradicalize wọn mọ́ sínú iléeṣẹ́ ológun ẹ mọ́ deradicalize wọn mọ́ sínú iléeṣẹ́ ológun oníkun ló mọ́ka ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ aláǹgbá ló dákúndélé àmì ilé ìtinúrun wọ́n ní Nigeria Army has dismissed a soldier accused of leaking a video linked to a deadly Boko Haram IED attack in Borno. Ayáṣẹ́lẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ tá a fẹ́ fi hàn yín ní àbítì mi Borno ló sá ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣé dismiss wà ló yẹ kẹ́ ẹ fi kẹ́ ẹ dismiss ẹ àbí kẹ́ ẹ yanjú ẹ èèyàn líìkì síkírìtì yín ẹ mọyé ẹ̀mí tó ń lọ sí tó bá líìkì síkírìtì kan ṣé ẹ mọyé ẹ̀mí tí ń lọ sí ẹ wá dismiss ẹ lásán ó yẹ kán mú ẹ tó dismiss ẹ náà dismiss nìkan kọ́ court martial gangan ni kí ni túmọ̀ ilé ìwọ̀ lọ́hùn bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ń fi wọ́n ṣe ń operate drones hàn wá lánàá kí la fẹ́ fi ṣe. ọ̀gágun Christopher ní iṣẹ́ ṣe tó pọ̀ o bẹ́ẹ̀ bá rí wọ́n ṣe waste ní orí bí wọ́n ti pa wọ́n ṣe waste wọn ẹ̀jẹ̀ fresh ọkọ̀ àwọn kan family breadwinner alẹ́ kan ni wọ́n ti dá wọn yẹn sí oh God ìdílé márùn-ún. ẹjẹ́ àtẹ̀síwájú jàre à ń bọ̀ nù ilé ìtàfihàn yìí o ẹjẹ́ wá dénú politics ẹjẹ́ sáré dé ọ̀dọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ADC níbi tí ọ̀dọ̀ AD là ń lọ ṣùgbọ́n àdọ̀dọ̀ ADC náà níbi tí kan nínú àwọn abẹnugan wọn nínú ẹgbẹ́ APC tó ti ń fẹnu tàbùkù àwọn Rótìmí Amechi gbogbo wọn ni mò ń wò yìí ẹ̀yin náà rí wọn nú picture El-Rufai wà ń bẹ Àtíkù wà ń bẹ ṣùgbọ́n mi ò rí Òbí lára wọn mo rí David Mark náà wà lára wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mo rí Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Arẹ́gbẹ́ wọ́n ní they have gathered in their bitterness wípé àwọn aláyébàjẹ́ àwọn tó jẹ́ pé inú wọn ò lè dùn àwọn oníròbìnújẹ́ ọkàn bíbélì ṣe sọnù àwọn oníròbìnújẹ́ ọkàn pé wọ́n ti ń kóra wọn jọ torí APC torí ẹgbẹ́ Tinubu wípé wọ́n máa fọ́ọ̀lù ni bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló tún wá sọ arákùnrin tá à ń gbé bọ̀ yìí APC chieftain ni ó ń sọ ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ sí ìkan lára àwọn abẹnugan nínú ẹgbẹ́ ADC ìyẹn Bọ́lájí Abdullahi Kọ́ni ń jẹ́ ó ló sọ̀rọ̀ kan lórí agbágbé lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí ó tàbùkù ẹgbẹ́ àwọn pé tí ò bá wá fẹnu kó èbí rẹ̀ páwọn ń gbé lọlé ẹjọ́ ẹjẹ́ sáré gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu wọn.
If you look at the group that calls themselves ADC, give me one person that has the knowledge and ability and bravery of Bola Tinubu. If Bola Tinubu was a kind of person that is timid, he would not undertake most of the reforms he's undertaking in the name of coming back. But this is a patriot, a very strong patriot who believes that the health and life of Nigeria is far more important than him returning to power in 2027. So yeah, he's been truthful with Nigerian people. He's been honest with the Nigerian people. He's taking the bull by the horn. Now tell me, among the opposition, one person that you think has the kind of intellect, the kind of bravery, the kind of knowledge, and the kind of experience Bola Tinubu has. Which state of Nigeria can compare with Lagos as we speak? Name them one by one. Is it David Mark? Is it Atiku Abubakar? Is it Bolaji Abdullahi himself? Is it Arebeshola? Is it the man from Port Harcourt? I always forget. Rotimi Amechi? Is it El-Rufai? Tell me one person among all of Peter Obi. Don't even talk about Peter Obi. Peter Obi is just ranting all over Nigeria, telling people what they do not know. I don't have a house in Abuja. He's the owner of Next International. So these are untruthful leaders. They just pack themselves together in their anger and bitterness. Anybody, any group of people that come together because they are bitter, they cannot make a headway. They cannot provide for Nigeria what Nigeria needs. So pack them aside and let's face our problems headlong and find a way to resolve our problem as a people. Not people that are bitter, they've been beaten here and there, they now got themselves together under David Mark. David Mark cannot even manage a local government finance. I can tell you that for free. Who among them?
He was a Senate president.
What is Senate president? What is that? How is that? Somebody was arguing with me a few days ago on TV. Ladan Saliu said Bola Tinubu is a rookie. There's people like Atiku Abubakar, David Mark are experienced nationalists. I laughed. Let them tell me one state in Nigeria that any of them has managed that is better than Lagos State. Since 1999, Lagos State has been progressive. The budget of Lagos State is more than 19 states put together. And you are kidding with such a person that has that kind of intellect, foresight? Not correct. I challenge him to substantiate that argument. And in my personal capacity and official capacity, I will write him a letter that I need him to clarify. And if he fails to clarify, I will take him to court. I have a right. You have lied against the government. Come and clarify yourself in court. I'll take Bolaji Abdullahi to court in my personal capacity as a Nigerian citizen. And I'll get you posted. We cannot, because of opposition, come on TV and begin to say frivolous things. What is the meaning of when they took the Venezuelan president? Our president did not say anything. He couldn't find his voice.
You don't think the president should have reacted to it?
There's nothing wrong if the president reacted. But there's nothing abnormal.
There's nothing invasion of one leader of another country and another leader.
Give me on the tip of your fingers how many countries reacted that Nigeria is now found wanting for not reacting. Now that's not even the issue.
Nigeria is the number one country in Africa.
Exactly what I'm saying is that as long as the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs had put a reaction together, it is sufficient.
Ó dá ẹ̀ka àbọ̀ padà ẹja wá fún ilé update lórí ti Portable tí Shikin sọ wípé Ọlọ́run nìjẹun túlẹ̀ wọ́n ti pàpà gba béèlì Portable. Ilé ẹjọ́ májísírèètì àkọ́kọ́ tó wà nílùú Ọ̀tà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ti pàṣẹ pé kí wọ́n gba béèlì ìlú mọ̀ọ́ká olórin takasúfè náà wèrè olórin Habib Òkìkíọlá tọ́pọ̀ mọ̀ sí Portable ló ń jẹ́jọ́ lórí ẹ̀sùn 9 ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ tó ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú ìwà ọ̀daràn criminal ní o èyí tí iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn fi kàn án. Láìpẹ́ yìí ni iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn fi ẹ̀sùn kan Portable, lára rẹ̀ ní lílu àwọn ọlọ́pàá àti olè jíjà. Ṣáájú ni Òkìkíọlá ti sọ fún ilé ẹjọ́ pé òun kò jẹ̀bi àwọn ẹ̀sùn tí wọ́n fi kan òun o, tí ilé ẹjọ́ sì pàṣẹ pé kí wọ́n lọ fi sí ọgbà ẹ̀wọ̀n Ìbàrà tó wà nílùú Abẹ́òkúta títí di ìgbà tí ìgbẹ́jọ́ mìíràn yóò wáyé nílé ẹjọ́ lánàá lọ́jọ́ ajé ọjọ́ 19 oṣù kìíní ọdún 2026. Onídùúró méjì ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni ọlọ́pàá pè láti wá jẹ́rìí tako olórin náà tán náà sì jáde tán jẹ́rìí tako. Wọ́n wá sọ wọ́n ní báyìí wọ́n ní ilé ẹjọ́ agbèfọ́ba Abdulkareem tó fẹ̀sùn kan olórin náà jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ pé ọlọ́pàá méjì ní Òkìkíọlá lù lálùbami nígbà tí wọ́n lọ fi sìnkú òfin gbé lọ́jọ́ 10 oṣù kìíní ọdún yìí. Ó ní àwọn méjì kan Ebuka Ọ̀dà àti Adéyanjú Bùsáyọ̀ ni wọ́n lọ fi ẹjọ́ Portable sùn ní tẹ̀sán ọlọ́pàá tó wà ní Ọ̀tà tán fi tẹ̀lé àwọn méjèèjì lọ sílé Portable. Wọ́n ní ṣùgbọ́n nígbà débẹ̀ wọ́n lu àwọn ọlọ́pàá lálùbami mu ní àkílà àwọn ọlọ́pàá ń wò pẹ̀lú ìbọn lọ́wọ́. Portable sì dá wọn náà sófà àlùwò ló fi lù wọ́n ni. Wọ́n ní ṣùgbọ́n ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ àwọn ọlọ́pàá tó kù láti station wọn náà ṣe ìrànwọ́ fún àwọn méjì. Ẹlẹ́rìí kejì tó náà jẹ́ ọlọ́pàá Ọdúnọlá ní ìyàlẹ́nu ló jẹ́ fóun pé nígbà tí Portable ń bá àwọn ṣagídí níṣe ló bọ́ ṣòkòtò rẹ̀ tó sì lóhun yóò kú sáwọn lọ́rùn bí wọ́n bá fẹ́ gbé òun ní tipátipá. Agbẹjọ́rò Òkìkíọlá Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Àràsánmí nígbà tó ń gbé lẹ́yìn oníbàárà rẹ̀ sọ pé yóò wù òun kí ilé ẹjọ́ fojú àánú wo olórin náà nípa gbígba béèlì rẹ̀ kàn tó mọ báwọn ó sì ṣe ẹjọ́ rẹ̀. Ilé ẹjọ́ sọ pé Portable yóò wà ní ọgbà àtúnṣe tó wà ní Ìbàrà nílùú Abẹ́òkúta títí dìgbà tí yóò fi rí ọ̀rọ̀ béèlì rẹ̀ yanjú. Ó wá sún ìgbẹ́jọ́ síwájú di ọjọ́ 2 oṣù kejì ọdún 2026 àti ìgbọ́ pé ó ti sanwó béèlì. Ó dà pé 1 million kan náà ní kó mú wá 1 million kan ló ní 1 million. Ṣùgbọ́n bóyá lè yóò jẹ́ òórọ̀ lára rẹ̀, bóyá ifá tán sì dá fún tán tẹ̀ fún tán sọ wípé wèrè irun wèrè náà fi bá ṣe, bóyá yẹn wá ní ṣe àti ìmọ̀ ní mú ṣe gánàgànà. Wọ́n lọ́jọ́ tó bá ti dákẹ́ gánàgànà ẹ̀ ṣàgbọ́ tí bàbá yẹn sọ pé ọjọ́ yẹn ni ò ní rọ́là ni ò ní rówó mọ́. Àṣẹ wà ń bẹ̀ nígbà tó ń ṣe fún àwa gbọ́ ni àgbà. Àyá ni ọ̀gá mi sán wà ń bẹ̀ nígbà tó ń ṣe ifá wèrè fún tó ń tẹfá wèrè fún pé ká mọ̀mọ̀ dá lóhùn mú láwà gbọ́ ni àgbà. Kí ló kàn wá bẹ́ẹ̀ owó tẹ́ ẹ bá gbọ́ lórí ìkànnì kí ni o reportedly and allegedly ní àwọn òtàbùkù èèyàn kankan tó rà àbáwọn sí ń bẹ̀ kò sí receipt ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ wa. Ẹ jẹ́ wá tẹ̀síwájú náà abala ti Sanawole tòní. Ó dánú abala ti Sanawole tòní ẹ jẹ́ sáré yà lọ́dọ̀ Ribadu níbi tí wọ́n ti gbé ròyìn kan. Èmi náà rí ròyìn yẹn ṣùgbọ́n mi ò kàn bá gbé nítorí mi ní interest náà. Bí ìyá ikú kí ló wá kàn wá bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n gbé ròyìn pé ìyá rẹ̀ kú ṣùgbọ́n Ribadu ti wá jáde báyìí o. Ìyá àwọn òkú o, ẹ mọ́ parọ́ mọ́ ìyá àwọn o, ẹ̀sìn mọ́ parọ́ mọ́ òun o. Kò sí nǹkan kan tó ṣe ìyá àwọn òkú o, màmá àwọn òkú o. Ribadu ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, ó ní a jíṣẹ́ fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Nàìjíríà. Ó dáa níbẹ̀ ìjà tẹ̀síwájú o nínú abala àfipáka ẹja dé computer village. Àrẹsẹ̀ pa mi ní computer village láti Tóyìn sí computer village. Mo máa ń rán àwọn ọmọ mi lọ́bọ̀ ni ẹ̀rẹ̀ ra CD wa ẹ̀rẹ̀ ra ilé wa láyé ìgbà náà tó sì ń lo CD ni o. Ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ adébẹ̀ níbi tá a ti gbọ́ wọn ní iná tún kọrin débẹ̀ o. Mo ní iná tún gba máìkì débẹ̀ o. Káwọn ọmọ ẹ̀yìn àwọn elégbè lẹ́yìn o bó ṣe ń pariwo ha 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 láwọn elégbè rẹ̀ náà ń pariwo hi 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 ní amplifier àwọn náà ń dún ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ kí iná kọrin délé yín nínú ọdún tuntun yìí kò ní kọrin délé tèmi náà gbogbo náà tí ó bá kọrin délé wa ó yẹ lẹ́yìn náà stóòfù àbí náà gáàsì tàbí náà tó wà lábà tó wà lóko tó ń dáná gi iná tó ní jàǹbá nínú kò ní kọrin délé ìmì àti yẹn já gbọ́ lẹ́nu àwọn tó ní ṣọ́ọ̀bù ń bẹ̀.
From all the stakeholders on this in this entire complex, and it was at that point everybody had to come. Those people that are nearby, those people that are close by, and few of us came around, and we saw that the light was something that we could not quench by ourselves. So at a point, we started seeing firefighters coming around. They really tried. They did all they could. At least we have about 3 trucks that came, firefighters, and they tried all they could, and they quenched the light. So just that the whole of the building at the top floor was gone totally razed to the end. So we try as much as possible to know what really caused it and what caused it, because at that early hour, our security personnel called first to tell us that they brought light, because during the night there was no light. So in the morning they said they brought light and they saw spark on this particular floor, this window here. Okay. So they said they saw spark, and they called one of the stakeholders on the building, and before they could rush down, they could not control it. And the building shouldn't have gone down to this extent if not that the access key to each of the buildings, those people were not around. Right. We could not reach any one of them. Okay. Things like this is something that is abatable. If those.
Ó dáa ní báyìí ẹja wa sáré gbọ́ lẹ́nu ìkànnà àwọn ìyá lọ́jà ó dà pé ìyá lọ́jà Èkó kì í ṣe ìyá lọ́jà federal kì í ṣe Ṣadé Tinubu.
Lots of goods, affected. I mean, in the house of this morning.
The worth of goods affected are into billions. One of the occupants of this building is the largest importer of laptops, well known in the market. Actually, he collapsed when he heard about the incident, and it's very unfortunate. And we just pray that government comes to their aid. We are going to be appealing to our amiable governor. We know that Governor Sanawole is a very compassionate person. He will look into the matter and help the traders, because they need serious help now. If we don't want them to something bad to happen to them, because it's a source of livelihood. I heard of an incident about 2 o'clock in the midnight yesterday. Somebody called me and said there was fire in the market. Immediately I got up and I called the chief security officer. In fact, we have to give kudos to our security in the market. They really rose to the occasion, and we made calls to the fire service. Thank God that we have a working fire service in Lagos State. Thank God to our we thank our governor for that, because everything, Lagos is working, Sanwo-Olu is working. We thank God for that. And they came. You could see that if not for the efforts of the fire service and the securities on ground, there are 3 buildings, and only one that the fire started from was the one affected. They did not allow it to escalate to.
Níbẹ̀ ẹja tẹ̀síwájú náà Abala fi pàkà ẹja lọ sí ilé ẹjọ́ níbi tá a ti kófìrí arákùnrin kan múnítàrè tó daṣọ bojú tó wọ húùdù tí ò jẹ́ ká rójú òun ni dẹ́rẹ́bà tó wa Anthony Joshua àtàwọn ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ̀ méjì tó kú lọ́jọ́ sí mo ló mà ṣe o. Ní mo bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé sọ́ọ̀sì ń bá fa wàhálà ni wọ́n níbẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti tú okùn lọ́rùn rẹ̀ wọ́n náà sọ pé àfi kó jẹ́jọ́ kó wá ṣàlàyé ìdí tó fi wa mọ́tò tí ò fi ní láísẹ̀nsì. Mo ní òun náà fi láísẹ̀nsì wa mọ́tò bí ò ti ẹ̀ jẹ̀bi tẹ́lẹ̀ gan ó ti jẹ̀bi tó wá jẹ́gbà yẹn náà wá ní ìjàmbá burúkú ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ìkànnù àwọn kú Anthony Joshua ní àwọn ò bẹ̀yìn lẹ́jọ́ níta wọn ò bá ní kẹ́ fọ̀rọ̀ ilé ìjàre tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀. Mo ní ẹ mọ̀ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ o bó lè yín ó ṣe wa mọ́tò láì ní láísẹ̀nsì. Ìbàjẹ́ yẹn pọ̀ Nàìjíríà ó wàá dánrú ẹ̀wọ̀n bí tó bá ṣẹ̀wọ̀n tán ó tún ní láísẹ̀nsì bí mọ́ láyé gbogbo Europe tiẹ̀ ó ti wọnú ìwé wọn ni ó tún láyé ní láísẹ̀nsì mọ́. In fact kéèyàn wá gbá ọgán kó mọ̀ jẹ́wọ́ lọ́lọ́ gbáyàn kí nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣẹ̀ nítọ̀ nǹkan wá gbóòórùn ẹnu rẹ̀ àbí kán rí i pé ò ní láísẹ̀nsì tí ẹ bọ̀ ọ̀nù ìjọba gbòòrò lẹ́nu agbẹjọ́rò.
Actually, the prosecution requested for an adjournment, and coupled with the fact that the matter is slated for definite hearing for today, and their witnesses are in court, nothing stops the court from going on. However, in the interest of justice, based on the application of the prosecution, the matter was adjourned. So we have nothing to say about that than to wait for the adjournment dates to see what the prosecution have for us or have for the court. It's normal for me to react, because adjournment cannot be made on a platter of gold, and it cannot be made by the way. You must have a reasonable ground for seeking for that adjournment. Yes, in the interest of justice. It's the reasonable ground. What's that ground? In the interest of justice.
Ó dáa ní rí Dubai lọ ibi láàrin mọ́ nú Abala ti Sanawole ní pápá àjẹǹpàyà wọlé kún agbéwà débẹ̀ nú Abala ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa Abala comment section níbi tá ti mọ̀ dóhùn yín gbogbo comment tẹ́ kọ tá mọ̀ yí sí ohun tí ó mọ̀ dún létí wa gbẹ́mù ó yẹ pápá àyà àròjọ mùsùlùkùn. mo máa tún kí wá káàbọ̀ sínú abala ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ abala comment section àtàdépọ̀jù ọpẹ́ mi wọ́n ní Mr. Bobby aláyọ̀ ọ̀wọ́ ẹ̀kú ìyànjú o ìyá tó fi èpè pa ọmọ rẹ̀ òun gan ti pa ara rẹ̀ sáyé. àlímọ̀ èyí tí ó kàn tó kọ́ ilé koríko tó fa iná sí ní ìyá rẹ̀. mọ̀ mi ṣe ìṣe àfàìmọ̀lẹ́fẹ́ kọ́ mẹ́yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ò yé mi o. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni bá mi Àbáyọ̀mí Orúfà wọ́n ní while at the same time the children too should, because of 9 months in their mother's womb and the stress of motherly upbringing. Evangelist Dorcas Jádesọ́lá wọ́n ní eléyìí pọ̀ gbogbo ohun tí kò yẹ kí abiyamọ fi ṣépè ní ìyá fi ṣépè fún o èpè abiyamọ mọ̀ ọ́n já o. wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀fẹ́ àti nǹkan panu láti Houston, Texas. wọ́n mi fún mi lọ́lá bèlò mi dáadáa wọ́n ní Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby náà bá ti tètè rí mi báyìí wọ́n ó dọ̀dọ̀ mọ́ mi ògúndọ́lá nù. wọ́n ní ibà kọ̀ǹfàmù ẹ̀ kó tó sẹ́ǹdẹ̀ mi lẹ̀ ń ké sí orí mi ń wú. wọ́n ní òbí ọkọ wa ọlọ́run ní inú ń bàjẹ́ nígbà tí ó ń dá ènìyàn torí àwọn tó ń pa ènìyàn bí ẹni pẹran. wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù sí a ọlọ́run gan tó dá wa kó ṣe báyìí pa ènìyàn. kan wá láwọn ń pààyàn fún. wọ́n tẹ̀síwájú wọn ní òbí ọkọ wa ẹ̀yin ló yẹ kí a máa pè ní Fọládára bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o Fúnmilọ́lá pọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ mi bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní CSI ọlọ́run máa gbé yín borí àmì ẹ máa ráàánú gbà ọlọ́run máa gbé yín borí àwọn ọ̀tá yín àmì lórúkọ Jésù. love you wọ́n tẹ love sí CSI bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n bú sẹ́rin ayọ̀ we love him too. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni Mọ́mí Dorcas Jálò ìyá Bobby ní Netherlands wọ́n ní ẹ̀ka alẹ́ gbogbo ẹbí aláyọ̀ brọ́dà mi Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby àtàyà wa wọ́n tẹ love àgbádùn yín o a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbọ́ ìròyìn àṣálẹ́ àná tán ní o ẹ ṣeun ọlọ́run aṣọ agbára dọ̀tún lórúkọ Jésù àmì mọ́mí mo jẹ́rìí yín gbogbo Netherlands nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni Adétayọ̀ Adégẹyè bá mi dáadáa wọ́n ní òbí pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tí à ń rí yìí ó yẹ kí gbogbo diaspora ronú àwọn ènìyàn ò kì í gbọ́ràn ẹ̀mí wọn ò jọ wọn lójú àwọn tó rìn gbọ́n epo bá mi ṣe ẹ̀gbọ́n tí ẹlẹ́yà náà ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín ni ọ̀dọ̀ yín ni ẹlẹ́yà kángun sí báyìí o kángun akángun síbì kan. Nasiru iná bá mi ní Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby oníròyìn wa ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kí àwọn olóṣèlú wa rántí lẹ́fẹ̀ẹ́ kọ́ rántí pé iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ wọn ni Ọlọ́run máa fi ṣe ìdájọ́ fún wọn. Jeremiah 31:19 àti Jeremiah 30:23. mọ́ọ̀mí àwọn olóṣèlú ìka bíbélì mọ́ọ̀mí Dorcas wọ́n ní Portable àti DJ Chicken wèrè la fi ń wo wèrè ní ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn méjèèjì o. báàmí Adétayọ̀ Adégẹyè wọ́n ní ìjà ìlara kí wọ́n bójútó ẹ̀sìn tiwọn àwọn ìjọba pẹ̀lú ẹni tó ń jẹ́ kí àwọn agbésùnmọ̀mí yẹn máa pọ̀ sí pẹ̀lú owó tó ń fún wọn ìbùkún ní fún orílẹ̀-èdè Oòduà from Newark New Jersey USA. mọ́ọ̀mí Olúfúnkẹ́ Fájímọ́lú wọ́n ní Bobby àwọn olóṣèlú yìí ti sọ iṣẹ́ tí ọmọ Nàìjíríà fún wọn ṣe di iṣẹ́ ìdílé. David Umahi náà ti mú ọmọ rẹ̀ fún local government chairman ní Ebonyi State. Ọbaṣá ní Èkó ti fi ọmọ rẹ̀ sí Agége local government chairman. ṣé ayé wọn ní mẹ̀kúnnù ẹgbẹ́ga mẹ̀kúnnù wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ rí kẹ́bìlá mẹ̀kúnnù lóyí bímọ o. mẹ̀kúnnù ò gbèjà ara wọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ara wọn wọn á tó tún gba 2,000. ẹ wá mọ̀dí tó ṣe ń kọ́ àwọn ọmọ wọn sí local government nísìn owó mọ̀ọ́dé sí wọn lọ́wọ́ ń tààràtààrà wọn gbọ́n. torí local government chairman nísìn kò yàtọ̀ sí gómìnà yóò mọ̀ gara ní gbogbo ọlá tí gómìnà fi ń gara tẹ́lẹ̀ ó ti ń padà bọ́ sí local government chairman lọ́wọ́. Alaafin Tijani bá mi dáadáa wọ́n ní ó ga o Nàìjíríà wọ́n ṣàrántí tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù sí amúrí nǹkan panu rẹpẹtẹ wọn torí Nàìjíríà kan láwọn ò ní fún wa ní nǹkan yóò yẹ ń bàbá mi Alaafin Tijani àtìmọ́ mi Hannah Hosu wọn ni pọ̀ Oòduà nation going back wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀sì àti nǹkan panu. bá mi òkè ńlá Adédọ̀tun wọ́n ní Olùkùnmi Bobby bá mi mò ń jẹ́ wọ́n ní Odile Malami ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni nítorí pé ẹnìkan kì í ṣerú eléyìí kí ó mú jẹ ṣé owó Nàìjíríà náà ló wá sọ di iyẹ̀pẹ̀ etí òkun pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹbí ẹ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ tiẹ̀ Malami o ẹ̀ sírun-kírun mọ́ báàbẹ̀ mọ́ kí pẹ̀lẹ́ ìyá yóò jẹ́ ìyá yóò jẹ̀wé ìyá agbára ní nǹkan kí ìṣòwò. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mọ́ọ̀mí Olúfúnkẹ́ Fájímọ́lú wọn nígbà tí ìjọba kò lè san minimum wage 70,000 what do you expect kí ilé ìwòsàn aládàáni san ṣé population Nàìjíríà pọ̀ ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ ni gbogbo aburú tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣé ó ṣe pọ̀ ju rere lọ kí Ọlọ́run wá ṣe àtúnṣe bó ṣe ṣe ní ìlú Tàórẹ́. Evangelist Dorcas Jádesọ́lá wọn ní ìbátan mọ́nà ẹ̀ ní pè mí ìbátan mọ́nà kẹ̀ mò ń retí kẹ́ ẹ pè mí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní ọkọ̀ ẹlẹ́à olóhùn iyọ̀ ohun náà òní dásẹ̀ lórúkọ Jésù, àmì Jésù. Mo fàgùn wọ́n tẹ love sí àti nǹkan panu láti Houston, Texas. Báàmí òkè ńlá Adédọ̀tún wọn ní Olúkúnmi àánú Destiny Boy ṣe mí gidi gan ni nítorí wípé ọ̀dọ́mọdé tí ìràwọ̀ ẹ̀ tètè tán ní but ṣé kò yẹ kí wọ́n gbé lọ fún treatment ní registered hospital. Babaláwo yẹn must be interrogated. Ẹ̀sìn kírun ẹ̀bùn nírè lá. Mọ́mí Stella Ògúnbàjò wọ́n ní cheese mo ṣe olóòṣàwẹ̀dẹ́ àti wẹ́dẹ̀wẹ́dẹ́ gbogbo obìnrin ilé aláyọ̀ ẹ wégele ayọ̀ ẹ̀yin bàbá wa ẹ̀yin náà ẹ gé fìlà ayọ̀ ẹ gé nínú ilé aláyọ̀ ìyáyọ̀ wa yóò máa pọ̀ sí lórúkọ Jésù àmín. Abala pàkà ewu Akínyẹmí ara mọ́mí Stella Ògúnbàjò. Mọ́mí Stella Òdèlé wọ́n ní Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ẹ káalẹ́ o ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ sò wá lọ́wọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ ká dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ ìyá tó ṣépè fún ọmọ yìí ká má rí kó ràn nínú ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kán máa tì wọ́n lọ ire o. Mọ́mí ọ̀rọ̀ yín ò yé mi o, Yorùbá yín yóò yé mi o. Báàmí Àbáyọ̀mí Orúfàì wọ́n ní ó bí on a serious note a right thinking child doesn't need to know how their mother suffers before taking good care of them. PTO. Mọ́mí Evangelist Dorcas Jádesọ́lá wọ́n ní sẹ́rí abiyamọ tó bá fi ìyà tán ọmọ àti òsín àbí àtòsí ìyà àtòsí tó fi tọ́ ọmọ wọ́n ní kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣépè fún ọmọ náà. Àdúrà ló yẹ kí abiyamọ tí ọmọ bá yọ lẹ́nu máa gbà fún ọmọ náà nítorí àṣẹ wà lẹ́nu wọn. Wọ́n tẹ love àti nǹkan panu láti Houston, Texas. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ò rántí pé àṣẹ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àtomi ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Jésù nìyẹn nígbà tí wọ́n gún lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ lórí igi àgbélébù. Omi jáde ẹ̀jẹ̀ jáde kò sí papọ̀. Péyìn ó bá bímọ náà omi ní ó kọ̀ jáde ẹ̀jẹ̀ ó tẹ̀lé. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn ò mọ̀túmọ̀ kínní. Abiyamọ tó o bá jókòó mélòó ló ti fi gbàdúrà fún ọmọ ìgan. Ẹni tí ó mọ ọmọ change ni ọmọ ya kànáńgìdá ń gbà míì. Ọmọ ò fẹ́ ya kànáńgìdá ó yọ̀bẹ sí ya rẹ̀ ó ṣe aṣáàdúpẹ́ kò pa ya ọmọ náà kò ṣe dáadáa o ṣùgbọ́n ikú kọ́ lè rè rẹ̀ kì í sì ṣe adúrú ègún yẹn. Mọ́mí Tóyìn Adéoyè kílẹ̀ rí sí i wọ́n ní epo ẹ̀rọ Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby tí a bá mi da epo pupa lé gàló lórí yóò dátọ́ mọ́ epo ọ̀rẹ́ àyà kí ó má bàa gbé ẹ̀mí mi wàláì àti one chance multiple chance làwọ̀ mọ́ mi wọ́n tẹ love sí àti nǹkan panu. Mo miss yín o, mo miss kọ́mẹ́ǹtì yẹn àti mọ́mí Tóyìn nọ́rì kọ́mẹ́ǹtì yín mọ́ tí ń gùrù mi. Mọ́mí Adésọlá Ọládèjì mo miss ẹ̀yin náà wọ́n ní àwọn olè gómìnà ẹlẹ́nu rúnrún. Mọ́mí wọ́n ní body odor mouth odor. Mami Debbie Precious Ajewole wọ́n ní good evening Precious Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ire o ayọ̀ ní tiwa in Jesus name. The lobby situation is going to add more to distrust by USA and ethnic problem in Nigeria. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mi ò mọ ibi tó ti gbé ọ̀rọ̀ lobby wá o kí èló ni ẹ fẹ́ gbà lórí lobby. Ara bí gan ọgbọ́n burúkú ni o gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tí ń wá ọgbọ́n burúkú àti mà wọ́n yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ so irú wọn náà tún wà ní USA náà wọ́n ń gbowó lọ́bì. Àti Yẹmí Sùlọ́lá òkújọ́ mẹ́ta wọ́n ní in the case of Malami it is the law of karma that is taking toll. The evil that men do lives after them. In fact lives with them ni yóò tún live after them ẹjọ́ kọ́kọ́ live with him náà. Yọ yẹ̀yìn ẹjẹ́ wa lọ tààràtàrà sọ́dọ̀ àtọ Mọ́táyọ̀ Akínúsì wọ́n ní òbí ẹ bá wa sọ fún wọn fún wèrè onídàálọ́gì yìí ó lọ kú eléri ibú báńdíìtì ní onídàálọ́gì yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Haúsá tó ní kò sí tó bad nínú dàálọ́gì ṣùgbọ́n Kastina government wọ́n ní kò sí téèyàn kankan lè ṣe fáwọn 70 terrorists náà fẹ́ tú sílẹ̀ àwọn ó tú lẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n tẹ̀síwájú wọn ní òbí gbogbo àwọn ọlọ́jẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà wọ̀nyí kàn fẹ́ máa recycle ara wọn ni can you imagine àwọn ọmọ wọn náà ti rẹ́dì láti wá jẹ tiwọn wọ́n ti sọ di oyè ìdílé àwọn ìkà aláìláàánú mẹ̀kúnnù ló lẹ́bi lọ́dọ̀ tèmi Ọlọ́run kọ́ mọ̀ wọra wọn ràn wọ́n rólùgbèjà wọ́n tàánù wọ́n ti dànù imagine wọ́n wá ń jáde nǹkan Sunday Igboho ni o Sunday Igboho ni o ṣíọ yóò yẹ yín bàbá mi Sunday ẹ mọ wòran o bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni àti Dorcas Dúródo Olúwatúnmiṣe mọ́ọ̀mí wọ́n ní àfihàn dúróòmù ọgbọ́n láti bo àṣírí olè tí wọ́n fẹ́ jà ní Oríyọmí àti gbogbo àwọn olóṣèlú kò lè ṣe ìjọba láìsí àtìlẹ́yìn Fúlàní Oòduà Nation of Yorùbá from Providence, Rhode Island. Torí ẹ̀ la ṣe ń pariwo ká gbòmìnira tààràtàrà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mọ́ọ̀mí Olúṣọlá Adébáyọ̀ wọ́n ní Dogara ní ó máa deliver ìyẹn tó bá jẹ́ running mate Olódòdè. Musa has enough hands to handle and he is the best to be left with the security issue. Wọ́n tẹ love sí àti nǹkan panu. Mọ́ọ̀mí Fasad Garba wọ́n ní ó Bobby ibà lọ́bí Bobby lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìyá Destiny Boy abíagbá gan-an ni wọ́n lójú tèmi o. Irú ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wo ni ọmọ èèyàn kì bá ṣẹ́ ìyá rẹ̀ tí ó fi máa ṣẹ́ ìpè tó bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kò dára rárá. Wọ́n tẹ love sí àti nǹkan panu o. Èpè tó ṣe ti já ọmọ rẹ̀ ó ti já sọ́run kò tiẹ̀ já sáyé bẹ́ẹ̀ ó tiẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ já sáyé náà tó ó lọ́mọ yẹn ń ṣe rádaràdà mo ṣe bí aláǹgànà ìpè ẹ̀ ní. Mọ́ọ̀mí Comfort Ojo wọ́n ní well done Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby àtàyà mọ́ọ̀mí well done too. God bless you Yorùbá Nation ní kíákíá àmì o. Good night gbogbo ilé igi ire lámútó yín o ẹ kú o. Àtìkò síranù wá àwọn ní gbogbo ohun tí àwọn sójà ń ṣe ní Kogi yẹn ni à ń pè ní eye service and we don't want that. Ìyá Destiny àti bàbá aláwo yẹn ni ẹjọ́ jẹ́ kí ìjọba fọwọ́ òfin mú wọn. Peace. Ó tọ́lẹ̀ sọ èmi náà rárìsá rẹ̀ àárín wọn kò. Wọ́n mi àárín adé wọ́n ní this is so sad. No matter what a child does, a mother should never curse her child. Mothers should have a job and allow their children to live their lives. Ìyá Mohbad too. What a love here. At Skemo Blonsky, more meaning for Shore to say he wants to fight for Malami really baffles me. Shore is just a restless soul. Ìdí tó ṣe èmi náà ti gbọ́ ìdí tó ṣe ló ń fẹ́ lọ fight fún Malami ó ṣe yé mi ni. Wọ́n ló sọ pé Malami ń bẹ̀rù àti gba bail láti san bail ó dẹ̀ ni. So kán mọ́ bá mú ó wá ní òun fẹ́ lọ san bail rẹ̀. So that yóò lè bọ̀ sọ́wọ́ DSS pé bẹ́ẹ̀ gan ló ń ti fẹ́ kó jẹ̀yà mo ti rí kọ́ọ̀sì yẹn ẹ ṣe mọ́ mi bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ẹja lọ sọ́dọ̀ wọn mi mo dúpẹ́ ta ìwà wàrà ẹ̀ wọ́n ní Bobby mi ọ̀wọ́n àmì lórúkọ Jésù ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ọ̀sẹ̀ ayọ̀ ní fún gbogbo wa láṣẹ Èdùmàrè wọ́n tẹ love ṣíà. At Moradeyo Alaba mọ́ mi ní Obi àtàyà you are well done and always looking wọ́n thumb up ẹ ṣe mọ́ mi. Wọ́n ní there are supposed to be the health and safety to cover up any accident place any accident places. Okay, to protect people's nearer the scene. Mọ́ mi yóò jẹ́ kò ní yẹ ẹ lẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n vernacular lẹ sọ yìí yóò bá lọ́ríjínálítì tí a vernacular lẹ sọ lọ́dọ̀ tí a. Wọ́n ní the game plan is to stop Christian at 165 president in 2031 after Muslim ticket of President Bola Tinubu it must be rejected in its totality. Òkè torí ẹ̀ ni wọ́n sì fẹ́ mú Christian ṣe sọ̀dí ní ìsìn ó ti yé mi. Géèmù burúkú ni politics Nàìjíríà yìí o àfi bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ yìí o. At Mojí Adésànyà mọ́ mi ní OB don't blame them let us condemn the oppressive government ẹni tẹ́bi ń pakùn lè ronú straight ìyẹn àwọn tó rè gbọ́n epo àmọ́ mi mo blame wọn. Ìjọba ni kò mú ayé rọrùn fáwọn ènìyàn. How many people in Italy can do this? Kò tí ẹ lè ṣẹlẹ̀ kò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àmọ́ mi nínú bó ti lè wò rí náà ó yẹ kán bẹ̀rù ẹ̀mí ara wọn. Ẹ jẹ́ àpadà sí orí value ẹ̀mí àtijọba àtàràlù wọn value ẹ̀mí ara wọn. Bí aráàlú bá value ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ kò ní gbà kíjọba ṣe báṣubàṣu sóhun kò ní rè mọ́ gba 2,000 gbà dìbò. Ẹja ti ẹ̀fọ̀rọ̀ elépo dé wọ́n rè gbọ́n epo lẹ̀ kò ní rè mọ́ gba 2,000 gbà wọ́n value ẹ̀mí ara wọn mọ iye ara wọn wọ́n mọ value wọn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ẹ sì tún náà ẹ correct òun ò lẹ́ correct o ìjọba náà ló ṣe kíni ló fojú wọn gbolẹ̀ débẹ̀ ẹ correct. Mọ́ọ̀mí Elizabeth Oyèníyà mọ́ọ̀mí Lújẹ̀ṣà wọ́n ní Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby èrè àìbá tí ń kó mi ìbá kà síwájú kí ló dé tí obìnrin ṣe ìpè yìí pọ̀ jù. Ẹ jọ̀wọ́ àwọn abiyamọ táwa nìkan ni ìyàdúrà ló yẹ àwọn ọmọ wa o agbára wa ní orí ahọ́n wà. Ìyẹn ni pé agbára wà lórí àwọn wọn tẹ love sí àti Káyọ̀ Victor bá mi ní OB ibà obvious news wow. Àlọ́ ọba ìlú wa ti gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé gbogbo obìnrin ìlú wa o ta ni o ọba abo nìyẹn náà irú àlọ́ òun náà pa yìí o Yorùbá nation tètè dé ẹ̀ ṣe parí àlọ́ yín alábòsí ni alábòsí ayé Tinubu PCSI àbí o fẹ́ fi ṣe ìpolongo ìbò 2027 ní wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀bù sí a kò yé wa fọlọ́dọ̀ọ́dẹ o bóyá ọ̀tán sì yìí olódòdẹ ká bóyá ọ̀nà ń gáìdì náà block bá mi yọ yẹ kò ní yẹ ẹ lẹ́wọ̀n ò ní wáyé tí o. At Victory in Jesus Adetiba, I don't think it is because of the money, because the mother said he put knife on his neck. Go for your best, but still that doesn't justify all that causes as far as I'm concerned. Lord have mercy on all of us. Bàtàn lọ́mọ tí ń ṣe bí aláǹgànà. Tá a mọ̀ bóyá nígbà tọ́mọ tí ń ṣe bí aláǹgànà ló ṣe ń síwá wò. Mọ́ọ̀mí Adésọlá Ọládèjì wọ́n ní ìyá òfò simple as ABC. Mọ́ọ̀mí Mòró mú bọ̀ ó yá ẹ̀já ọ̀sán wọ́n ní àtọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby mi tó tán my darlington brother yìí ń ranjú ó tún ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ o àbàtì tún ti ń ranjú mọ́ Mr. Imú Ẹ̀gbálas mọ́ọ̀mí abẹ́rẹ́ rí ẹ tún wòde mú ojú làwà wò. At Clement Ọládẹjọ wọ́n ní Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby can we ask the Arewa people Arewa jàre Arewa people that the refinery in Kaduna, what have they done with it? They said Zamfara gold belongs to Zamfara. Have they reported any gold mines in the north? Capital no. Wọ́n rìkọ́ọ̀dù ẹ̀. Mọ́mí Elizabeth Oyèníyà wọ́n ní àyà bá wa lọ gbé ọkùnrin tó ń gbè lẹ́yìn agbésùnmọ̀mí Oòduà Nation Members ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí máa san gbogbo wa o. Àṣẹ wàá Èdùmàrè. Mọ́ọ̀mí Adésọlá Ọládèjì wọ́n wo sàkún ọ̀rọ̀ Destiny Boy wọ́n ní ó ṣe jẹ́ wípé ìgbà tí babaláwo fẹ́ fún ní ẹran ní àìsàn dé sí tó sì ṣubú láti ìgbà náà ní àìsàn náà kò ti gbọ́ títí tó fi kú wọ́n fẹ́ fún lẹ́ran o bí ó ti rè tẹ́fà. At màámi ibà màámi wọ́n ní ibà lọ́bí bọ̀bì ìrònú ti dórí Sàtáánì Sókótó kodò gbogbo nǹkan ogun tí Fúlàní gbẹ́kẹ̀lé tí wọ́n fi gún Nàìjíríà gàràgàrà tó wà nínú ajá ilẹ̀ ní Sókótó ní Amẹ́ríkà ti jẹrun pátápátá bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìbànújẹ́ ó débá kó lè sọ̀rọ̀ jákè. Mo gbọ́ pé wà mítìnì àwọn olórí àwọn Arẹwà tán pè lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta yìí tó sọ wípé kán mọ̀ pín Nàìjíríà kíní máa wà pé gbogbo propaganda náà ń gbé jáde tí ò jẹyọ ń ló dífá ti gold mine lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Ìjọba ti dán lóhùn á sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀ lónìí mọ́ọ̀mí tẹ̀síwájú wọn ní ibà ẹlẹ́yà ń lọ́bì Bobby bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Bobby náà ń lọ́bì ẹlẹ́yà. Wọ́n ní wọ́n rí ògùn ẹ̀ ṣe o wọ́n máa bínú kú ni National Gold Refinery in Lagos has come to stay. Distinguished media mogul Ambassador Aya Kunduzi Aya náà gbé Kunduzi fún yín mọ́ mi o oṣù barabata ni ó dì báyìí ni ó ní bo ní kò ń dìlífà rẹ̀ sí mú ní kó bá yín gbé fọ́lọ́hún àbí kó bá yín gbé fọ́lọ́hún yóò yẹ yín mọ́ mi kò ní í yẹ ẹ lẹ ọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀yìn tún lè kàn sí lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́hun bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ẹjẹ́ àdọ́dọ̀ mọ́ mi Mosúnmọ́lá Olíwo tèmi nìkan wọ́n ní Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby tèmi nìkan mọ́ mi bí mi wọ́n ní ẹgbọ́ o èló gan ni àwọn Haúsá kó sílẹ̀ nínú owó góòlù tí wọ́n ti ń wà ní Zamfara láti ọjọ́ ìmbó wọn fowó jíṣẹ́ wọ́n ní ìgbẹ́lẹ́nu fẹ́ńdọ̀ yín o ẹ máa kékun ni ó dá àrọ́jà rí Bobby àtàyà mi wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù sí amórí pineapple mórí watermelon mọ́ mi yọ yẹn gbogbo lé ní kò ní yẹ ẹ lẹ at Fẹ́mi Ayétiwá bá mi ní some of the leaders stupendiously lack common sense they should not be leaders but commoner with no intelligence but boys absolutely no sense in the simulation of military drones for the enemy àwa náà sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. At Juliet ayẹni wọ́n ní long time Bobby ẹ kú déédé àsìkò yìí o àwa náà ké mọ́ mi yọ yẹyin kò ní yẹ ẹ lẹ. Àmì ọ̀wọ́n at formate ear braiding wọ́n ní mo like nǹkan tí bàbá wòlíì yẹn ṣe why táwọn ará church yẹn ò fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ Jésù èpè pọ̀ ohun it is well o wọ́n tilẹ̀kùn mọ́ wọn ẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ ọjọ́ Monday ní àmì yọ yẹyin kò ní yẹ ẹ lẹ o. Mọ́ọ̀mí Alájà Modinot Solomon wọ́n ní Dishore will continue to win the case. He knows the laws more than some lawyers. Wọ́n ti fìyà jẹ́ wọ́n fìyà àmọ́ náà ń gbé lọ ilé ẹjọ́ wọ́n gbà tí sòrò rẹ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó gbìyànjú. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni Adésọlá Ìbíkúnlé mọ́ọ̀mí ní ibà àrídùnnú ìmìlẹ̀ ń ké sí òun ní rí mi banújẹ́ láṣẹ Ọlọ́run. Wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀bù alárànbarà mo rọ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ mo rí píà mo rí kùkùmbà mo rí wáìnì rẹpẹtẹ mo rágbàdo jiná o Toronto àgbàdo kó bàbá àgbà ìbẹ́ òní nígbàdo mọ́ mi Mọ̀dínà Solomon mo tún padà dọ̀dọ̀ yín wọ́n ní ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n lọ gbèjà Malami àti olùgbèjà àti oníjà wọ́n á jọ ṣe ẹ̀wọ̀n ní ọ̀pá ni wọ́n máa fi wọn ẹ̀wọ̀n fún wọn. Mọ́ mi abẹ́ akíṣemọ́yìn ìyáálé gbogbogbò ẹ̀ bá ń san látẹ̀wọ́ wọ́n ní ó bí ìkọ́ alẹ́ o ìbéèrè mi àkọ́kọ́ ni wípé ta ni ẹlẹ́hà ẹlẹ́hà ti wọ gàù ìyáálé gbogbogbò sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ní mo fẹ́ mọ̀ ta ní jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kí ló ń ha ẹlẹ́hà nǹkan ó ha mi mọ́pọ́nà ó lọ́ bí mi o èkejì ni kínìdí tó fi jẹ́ wípé Mushin nìkan ni ó máa ń dárúkọ ní gbogbo ìgbà Mushin náà fi tọ́ wa dàgbà nígbà táyà ń ya fọ́tò ni wọ́n á ní ká ṣe Mushin mọ́ mi ẹ̀ ṣe Mushin bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ẹlẹ́yàdé o wọ́n ní ẹ̀ka alẹ́ gbogbo ilé aláyọ̀ ẹ dá padà ọkọ mi ìyàwó bíi báwo ṣé mi ò tẹ́ yín lọ́rùn ni pé kí n mọ̀ fẹ́yàwó lẹ́yàwó wọ́n ti gbọ́n tí ìyáálé gbogbogbò sọ kí lẹ tún fẹ́ ẹ wò màámi èmi ò ní líìfù kankan lọ o ẹ lọ líìfù àjọ máa lọ́bì papọ̀ ní o wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀bù sí a. mọ́ọ̀mí Esther Sosanya wọ́n ní akálẹ́ o ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby abẹ́rẹ́ rí ẹ̀ngán kóra wọn kọ̀ pé akálẹ́ o gbogbo wa náà ni téèyàn ó bá kíyàn ẹ̀ka alẹ́ òun kí àwọn èèyàn nìyẹn sọ tó bá ti kóra rẹ̀ pọ̀ mọ́ wọn ẹ̀sìn tó ti kọ́ mi ní kíkí mi kí ni ẹ fẹ́ kí àwọn Fúlàní yìí sọ nígbà tí wọ́n ti ń gbádùn owó gbogbo Nàìjíríà inú wọn kò ní dùn kò sì ní dùn láìláì ṣùgbọ́n títí láìláì láyọ̀ tí àwọn ní orí máa fọ́ wọn ní kí wọ́n fèkó sílẹ̀ àtìmọ́ mi ò yẹmí sàlá wọ́n ní Malami kò ní bọ́ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀tá olóyè Ìgbòho ẹ̀san ló ń ké yẹn mọ́ mi ẹ bá yín òkè kò ké dáadáa. wọ́n mi Kudirat Wahab wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀bù sí arẹpẹtẹ èèyàn bómibómi Crystal. at Martin Adébọ̀wálé wọ́n ní obì tí àṣẹ rí bí wọ́n ṣe ń ké bí egbére kò sí ẹnìkan tó sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n ń wá gold Zamfara wọ́n ní Zamfara gold is for Zamfara wọ́n ti rí nǹkan kan wọ́n ti rí nǹkan kan. ó ṣe wọ́n ní Portable ti ràn wọ́ sẹ́ẹ̀lì mọ́ mi Tóyin Nọ́rì yá ibi ni mo ti wá báyìí ẹ pẹ́ díẹ̀ o àbẹ́mi ni mi ò tètè mú kọ́mẹ́ǹtì yín. Florence Alade wọ́n ní Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby lọ́jọ́ wo la ó gbé rẹ́kọ̀dù ìjáde ẹ̀kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun ọlọ́run là ń yín o ọlọ́run lẹ́yìn lára wa o ṣé bí rìfàìnẹ́rì wà ní Kaduna ṣé wọ́n ń wa epo petrol ń bẹ̀ níbo wọ́n ti wà gbẹ kò ṣiṣẹ́ wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀sì àti nǹkan panu. ó dá àwọn ẹ̀ka àbọ̀ padà èmi náà ti ń dúró dè yín owó lójú ọjọ́ ojú yín bright o ẹ̀ ń gbádùn wíìkì yìí yóò san wá sówó san wá sọmọ san wá sàìkú balẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ wá nǹkan jókòó lé ẹ̀ wá nǹkan panu tẹ́wọ̀n fi sọ̀rọ̀ àjìjà ẹ̀ wá nǹkan olómi tútù tàbí ẹlẹ́rìndòdò tàbí tó lọ́wọ́rọ́ díẹ̀ bó sì ṣe Lipton tea náà ni olówó ń fadoro tàbí kó jẹ́ tíì gangan fúnra rẹ̀ eruku Òṣòdì ìrọ̀ ẹ̀wọ̀n mọ̀ eruku Òṣòdì Bonfita àwòdà ẹ̀mọ́jà àṣepolówó tán sanwó fún ẹ ṣàwá nǹkan tẹ́mọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ àjìjà ẹ jókòó déédéé bó sì ṣe bí sẹ́lẹ̀ wà táìmù break oníkẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ ìròyìn ẹ fi kíní sétí kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ fi jẹ̀gbádùn kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ bá a sùn lọ àwọn kan ní ó máa ń mú yàn sùn kì í ṣe níbi iṣẹ́ o ìròyìn máa ń mú yàn sùn lóòótọ́ máa ń relax bọ́dí èèyàn ẹni tó bá wà nílé tó ti fẹ́ sùn tẹ́lẹ̀ yóò tètè rọrùn sùn ṣùgbọ́n bá wà níbi iṣẹ́ tí ń gbọ́ yóò fi tètè yàṣẹ́ ni òwe multi-purpose kí làwọn gbogbo nìṣe ibà gbogbo nìṣe yín náà rèé o ó dá alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ń bẹ̀ lára tá a ti mẹ́nu ẹjẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ yà lọ́dọ̀ bọ̀dá Délé Aláké tó jẹ́ Minister of Solid Minerals Development níbi tó ti ń kàn án lábẹ́ fún àwọn ará ilẹ̀ Haúsá wípé ta ló sọ fún yín wípé ìjọba ló ṣe rìfàìnẹ́rì tán ti fẹ́ mọ́ fọ gold wúrà tó ń fàdákà àti òjìá wúrà tùràrí àti òjìá ẹ̀bọ̀tàrẹ́ fún Jésù ní mo ṣe ni ṣùgbọ́n lórí ti gold wọ́n ní ẹ bá wádìí ọ̀rọ̀ kẹ tó máa fi gbé bọnú ìgbé àbò sílé léyìí wọ́n dá padà owó bàbá Ìjẹ̀bú fún àwọn ará ilẹ̀ Haúsá àwọn olórí wọn àwọn ẹ́dàsí wọn àná náà ni mo rí tán pérajọ pọ̀ tán ní àwọn òbí gbà ó Trump ò ní pín Nàìjíríà o àwọn bílífù nù Nàìjíríà o ọkàn àwọn rọ̀ wọ́n Nàìjíríà wọ́n Nàìjíríà kan náà ní o ẹ̀ sì ń da Nàìjíríà rú orísun mọ̀dàrúdàpọ̀ Nàìjíríà ilẹ̀ Haúsá ló ti wá ẹ̀yin náà lẹ́ ń dómi àlàáfíà Nàìjíríà rú ẹ̀yin náà lẹ́ ń sọ̀sọ́kúsọ ẹ̀yin náà lẹ́ ń fún wọn negotiation ṣùgbọ́n lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ti gold a sì mọ̀ èyí tán wà ń sáfara gan wọ́n ló wọ àwọn ní góòlù àwọn ní ṣùgbọ́n epo elépo epo gbogbo wa ní ṣùgbọ́n góòlù Zamfara wọ́n ní góòlù àwọn ní ló wá dífá ìdáhùn tí Délé Aláké fi dáhùn lóhùn wípé ẹni tó ní rìfàìnẹ́rì iléeṣẹ́ aládàáni ni ìjọba ò sì ní agbára tàbí wọn lè kàn pa fún ẹni tọ̀hún pé ibi ni kò gbé rìfàìnẹ́rì rẹ̀ sí sọ́ọ̀nà sọ fún Dangote kò tó ṣe rìfàìnẹ́rì ṣèkù ni nígbà táwọn wá tún rí èèyàn kan tó fẹ́ ṣe rìfàìnẹ́rì tó jẹ́ ti gold ó làwọn ṣe wá sọ fún pé ibi ni ò ṣe sí sọ́ọ̀nà bá ṣe project proposal rẹ̀ ni ọ̀nà mọ ibi ẹ̀wọ̀n tí wọ́n bá ń ṣe project proposal yóò mọ ibi tó source ibi tó súnmọ́ nǹkan èròjà ibi tó súnmọ́ transportation tí ó mú rọrùn fún kí wọ́n ń tà wọ́n ń bẹ̀ ẹ wá convince wọn fúnra yín kẹ́ ẹ ní kán mọ̀ bọ̀ Zamfara ṣé ẹ tí ìmójútó insecurity yín wọn mọ̀ pé wọ́n sọ yẹn wọ́n fi yẹn kún ṣùgbọ́n lọ́kàn wọn yóò mọ̀ ró lọ́kàn wọn òyìnbó kan ó wà gbé iléeṣẹ́ kan wá sí Nàìjíríà Zamfara ni ó wà rè gbèsè lọ́rọ̀ kan wọ́n ti dán lóhùn wọn ní kì í ṣe federal government ló ní gold refinery tó wà ní Lagos o wọ́n ní iléeṣẹ́ aládàáni ni ó sì dùn mọ́ mi bọ́n ṣe dán lóhùn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ gbà àìmọ̀kànmọ̀kàn yìí máa ń da àwọn Haúsá ìláàmú wọ́n kàn mọ́ fẹ́ fẹnu sọ̀rọ̀ ni àwọn náà máa ń dáná rọ́ iná ẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà tán máa ń gbé epo petrol sí lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ wọn bíi tẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà ni ẹ wo ọ̀rọ̀ lobbies tán sọ lọ́jọ́ sí ọ̀rọ̀ tó yẹ kó ìjọba Nàìjíríà tán rè sanwó lobbies tó yẹ kán dán bójú fún lẹ́yìn wá ń gbàbí ẹni gbàgbá ọtí arákùnrin kan lọ́nìṣà òun gangan ló fún Trump lọ́wọ́ Trump. ẹjá kúnbẹ́ ẹjá tẹ̀síwájú ẹjá lọ sí Kaduna lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tàwọn over 100 people tán náà jígbé lọ tán láwọn agbébọn ya wọ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì àṣìkérúbà Sẹ́ráfù ní mo ní Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ àwọn headquarter wa ń Kaduna nù a máa lọ sórí òkè kan ó ní program tán tá a lọ mọ́ ṣèmi náà bá lọ rí ńgbà kan ní Beloway ní CNS yẹn wà àràgbá yamuyamu gbogbo CNS la máa péjú ó ní nǹkan kan tá a máa ṣe every year mo ti gbàgbé mọ́mí mo rò mo ti gbàgbé ẹran létí. wọ́n ní the Kaduna State Government and the Kaduna State Police Command have dismissed reports that over 100 worshippers were abducted during attacks on 2 churches in Kajuru local government area of the state, describing the claims as false and misleading. They spoke amid reports that suspected bandits on Sunday stormed Cherubim and Seraphim Church 1 and Cherubim and Seraphim Church 2 in Kurmi Wali community, Kajuru local government, and abducted worshippers during church services. Earlier Monday, the chairman of the Northern Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend John Ayab, had said, "Only I received a distress call yesterday from the CAN chairman in that area that an unspecified number of residents of Kurmi Wali in Karuju local government were abducted from the Cherubim and Seraphim Church 1 and Church 2. According to him, the assailants stormed the churches while services were in progress, locked the gate, and forcefully marched worshippers into the bush. As of today, 163 worshippers are still in the hands of the terrorists," Ayab said, adding that 8 of the abducted persons later escaped, describing the incident as part of a broader attempt to instill fear and provoke religious tension. The CAN leader said, only describing the incident as part one of them Kaduna ni o. This is very sad news, but it will not change our resolve to work with government and security agencies to bring this evil to a stop. We are calling on government and security agency to go out in full force to rescue our people. We will stand in solidarity and provide any useful information that will expose this evil. He added that security operatives had already commenced action in response to the report. Security officers are already on top of the matter. We'll commend them and security.
Narrative from the Kajuru area that people have been or whatever in the like of that is totally false, is not tenable, and we do not have any evidence of such. So we are here to make it abundantly clear and to let people know that the government of Kaduna State has zero tolerance for criminality.
On hearing this rumor, like any other person, I personally visited the area this morning, this community by name Kurmi Wali, and accompanied with security agencies, the police, the military, special forces, DSS. On reaching to the community, things were moving normal. We visited the church, the state church, the state two churches. There was no any evidence that shows that yes, there was an attack. So I believe it's the rumor peddling by merchants who want to have, the peace that Kajuru is enjoying.
Till now that we are speaking, nobody is able to come out with any figure or name of any person that is kidnapped from that community. Our policemen, the chairman of the local government and other agencies were at alleged scene of crime. We went there. Till now, there is no information about any attack or any kidnapping of over 300 persons. And on this, please stop giving out false information to those discredit the state and the security agencies.
Kan wá kọ́kọ́ fún yín lórúkọ. Sàn gan tí ìmọ̀ orúkọ sàn máa ń ṣe register church ni. Abiru kí lélẹ̀. He challenged those spreading the report to provide the names and other particulars of alleged victims. The police commissioner warned rumor mongers to desist from spreading unverified claims, threatening that the full weight of law will be brought to bear on those attempting to derail the prevalent peace in Kaduna. Similarly, the chairman of Kajuru local government area, Dauda Madaki, said investigation carried out by the council security agencies showed that no such attack. Wọ́n ti fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ lórí wọn o. Ṣé níjẹrin lọ́dún tó kọjá sí àwọn worshippers, àwọn Christians, pàápàá jùlọ àwọn aláṣọ funfun yìí, ṣé wọ́n jáde wá sọ fún yín pé wọ́n jí àwọn gbérí? Wọ́n ní Khan, chairman Khan sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, ẹ̀yin ní rárá. Ẹ lọ mú àwọn tó sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó pè yín. Ẹ lọ mú wọn. Fún yín lábọ̀ ó sì kúkú dìbọn ró lórí ìròyìn yìí. Òṣùbà àkọlà mẹ́hẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ló pè wọ́n tán fún wọn ní distress call. Nǹkan báyìí ṣẹlẹ̀.
Abẹ́wò àríbi tá a ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ Ìlàyà ti ṣẹ́wọ́ sí mi pé ọ̀gá mi òpùrọ̀ ni ó sọ pé lẹ́rìí ìhun wà lọ́rùn pé ẹni tó jẹ́ chairman fún gbogbo àjọ CAN ní North wọ́n náà ti sọ̀rọ̀, wọ́n ti gbójú jáde, wọ́n sì ti sọ wípé ẹ̀rí wà, irọ́ ni àwọn gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ń pa, pé irọ́ ni wọ́n ń pa. Àwọn fún wọn lẹ́rìí, wọ́n sì jí àwọn èèyàn tó 100 kìíní kan náà jí gbé. Mo ní sójoojúmọ́ ní gbogbo ẹ̀ka ìjọba fẹ́ mọ́ lo controversy ni, ojoojúmọ́ lẹ fẹ́ mọ́ lọ́bì ni, tẹ́ẹ̀kì fẹ́ kán gbọ́ ìròyìn gidi. Wọ́n jí èèyàn gbé ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì over 100 and something, ẹnìkan panu mọ́ ẹ tún pè ní rọ́, kò sì ní yẹyìn. Ṣé àwọn Yíbò kan ní Onitsha lábá sóun náà ló tún ké pé ló tó àṣírí eléyìí báyìí fún Trump?
My candid advice is that we must not allow security issues to be politicized. Neither do we come to public space to make statements about security issues that do not help in healing wounds, but further make people to have more reason not to trust us. So I'm advising the police, I'm advising all those who have spoken to be careful. We want to win the trust of Nigeria. We want to win the confidence of Nigerians. I am not sure it's right for us to say things like this in public media. But for avoidance of doubt, if you listen to the local government chairman, he did tactically admit that there were bandits. But he just turned again, and he wasn't talking about kidnap. He talked about hospital. So that shows you that he wasn't really answering the question, because no one was saying someone was in the hospital. We are simply saying that people were in church and were kidnapped. He asked for something, and call him now and again and ask him. He asked that if we have the list. This morning, we have the list of 177 people with him. So we have the list. So let him tell the other one. We have the name of the church. We have the time the incident happened. The police also know that they have the report wired by them. So I'm not sure it is right for security issues to be politicized, because it's like you don't care about the life of the mother of somebody, the father of somebody, the son of somebody, the friend of somebody. I don't want to belong to that. As a pastor and as a Christian, I've said the day I start lying when it has to do with life of individual, I should just hand over my license and stop preaching. So this incident happened. All we want the security agencies to do is to go after them. But to come to the public and start denying, and I don't know who they were referring to as merchants. Sadly, we don't understand. Is it the community people who are merchants? Is it the current chairman of local government who is a merchant? Or are the stakeholders in that place who confirmed that this incident happened that are merchants? Because for us, we are just partners in progress, wanting to help make sure things are done right. And we want to do it with truthfully. We want to do it with integrity. We don't want to join into the politics of lie. Sadly, this report had combination of party issue. I think you shouldn't even have another party speaking now. We're talking about Nigerians that we feel, we know have been taken away. Let's tell our security to go after them. We trust our governor. We appreciate the effort of the security agency in Kaduna State. In the last 1 week, they have actually helped us rescue some of our pastors, rescue even the wife of Venerable this. So we commend them, and we know they can also go after these people and rescue them. But I don't know the politics being played and the denials. This is quite sad. But whoever is asking for list, we have shown them the list. Let them tell us that list does not exist.
this
True,
kind of
and
outcome.
that's what we have advised them. I've spoken to almost all of them today, since yesterday to this morning, drawing their attention to the facts that are available, the evidence that are available, and I think we don't have any controversy or argument about the facts that are available. Whatever may have led to the reason why they deny, well, I can't interpret it, but I want to appeal to everybody. This governor is being loved by Kaduna State people, so please don't give people an impression as if something is wrong. The governor is trying, so nobody is accusing the governor. It's not the game about accusing the governor. It's the game about criminals coming to take our citizens. So let's go after them. But when you start playing game, you are not helping the leaders, you're not helping the governor, you're not helping the state, and we can't deny. You can't tell me 100 and something. Even if it's just 2 people, you can't just come publicly and deny that it never happened. Well, we can show you proofs with names and what it happened. And you also, as police, we have your signal that you give out to show people that this incident happened. Please, I beg us in the name of God.
Ẹ wo náà lẹ ti gbọ́ yẹn o, ó ń ṣe mí bíi kí n ṣẹ́ èpè, kí n gégùn, kì í ṣe ṣépè, kí n gégùn fún àwọn ará bíi. Ìkà làwọn olórí yín. Ẹ má wulẹ̀ ṣépè fún wọn. Èpè tí ń jẹun already. Ó ń gbé mi bí èbí ni, ṣùgbọ́n èpè tí ń jẹ àwọn torí àdúrà làwọn mọ̀ gbà ń bì. Àwọn olóríire ló wà ń bì. Ṣùgbọ́n èpè tí ń jẹ àwọn already, ègún tí ń gún wọn already. Ẹ wá jáde ládùúrú èèyàn, kó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ àná la sì sọ wípé kó ṣe èèyàn kan gan pé a lè lo èèyàn kan tí nǹkan bá ṣe, a lè sọ wípé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn ẹ̀mí ẹyọ kan. A lè fi lo ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn nítorí pé a fẹ́ mọ rírì ẹ̀mí. Wọ́n sọ ẹyọ kan kò ní yẹ àwọn olórí yín. Ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ já kó ń bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹja wá dé inú ìròyìn ti àwọn ẹja lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn àmìnà. Ẹ̀rù ìròyìn ẹ̀ ń bà mí. Ẹja àkọ́kọ́ dẹ́kọ̀ ẹ má bínú, ẹja àkọ́kọ́ dẹ́kọ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ti Makoko, mo fẹ́ ní Magodo, Makoko. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ló fẹ̀sùn kan àwọn kan, pàápàá jùlọ èmi náà máa ń rí àwọn kan tó ń dáwájú gbẹ̀yìn. Wọ́n ní wọ́n ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ àwọn òyìnbó, wọ́n fi NGO wọn gbowó lórí Makoko, kò sì sí development kankan bẹ́ẹ̀. Pípò làwọn ò ṣe ní wo gba àwọn ilé tó wà lábẹ́ wáyà náà. Pípò làwọn ò ṣe ní wo ẹ̀mí àwọn ará bí ìjọ àwọn lójú gan ju gbogbo eléyìí lọ pé ká mọ̀ dán lóhùn òmù ní ẹ̀sà sọ̀ǹtẹ̀ sọ̀nà yìí ìjọba náà ní lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀dì ẹ̀rù. Ẹ jẹ́ á gbọ́ lẹ́nu ìjọba náà ká mọ̀ fàárẹ̀ apá kan dápá kan sí àtìgbà tá a ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ Makoko yìí. Kan láti ìgbọ́ lẹ́nu ìjọba, ẹ jẹ́ á gbọ́ lẹ́nu wọn.
The other matter, which I'm also looking straight into the camera and I'm telling gentlemen of the press, is on demolition. There's been several, issues and stories here and there on what we're doing. They mentioned that we're doing Makoko and the rest of it. So people need to understand that it is a big city we're dealing with, and emergencies and safety of life and property is still the paramount thing that we need to safeguard. I just explained to you that a 33,000 liter fuel tank on a bridge spilled, and over 100 people used. You've seen it on social media. Scooping, we had to push our first responders to be able to cordon off the place. If anything had happened, it's not what we'll be talking about that we'll have seen this morning. It's the similar thing that we're doing. Of what interest will it be for government to want to unduly demolish anybody's? What interest? If it is not for the overall safety of these citizens that we're talking about. A lot of these people have built the shanties. We're not talking about, poor and vulnerable people. But we have responsibility to also protect you. Build shanties right under the high tension wire. And the regulation is there that you need to clear between 150 to 250 away from the regulation line. So what we're doing is that we're not demolishing the whole of Makoko. We're clearing people not to get to Third Mainland Bridge and to stay off behind the high tension. We're aware that there are some local and international NGOs that want to profit from this. We're studying and we're going to show you evidences. They've made so much money from international people, and that they've asked for so much grant and wealth into those places, and it's just for them to cover their own lies and the fact that they've not done what they said they were going to be doing. That's why they're all shouting and crying more than the bereaved. And we're here to face them and to let them see the reasons why we have to do what we're doing. And I've also given instruction that whatever additional support we can give to them, we've been on this for 2.5 years. We have evidence, we have videos, we have communication that we've done for them for 2.5 years. 2.5 years. And I can share them with you. That we've had meetings with them, with all their balas, all their community leaders, and we all agreed. The last summit was meant to be December 2024. We extended all throughout 2025. And so we cannot, be a lawless state of people. Something has to give at some point, because we cannot fold our arms and let calamity or disaster happen. And that's the kind of thing we talked about in the building that happens on Lagos Island, where they turn it into warehouses and the rest of it. So we're not going to fold our arms and let this kind of thing happen again. And by the way, I've also instructed both the local government and the various ministries concerned to see how they also can give additional succor, palliatives, some relocation grants to some of these people, just to show compassion and to say that, right, you've done wrong, but government can still also show compassion and be compassionate about you. That's what this is all about, is to ensure that we all can live in a safe and secure environment where your own right ends is where another person starts, and we have a global responsibility to ensure that we continue to keep this place safe. If it amounts to the fact that we're going to push away in the name of demolition and what it is, we will do it, but we'll do it responsibly. It's not because we have any other ulterior motive. It's not because we are trying to protect anybody. It's because we're doing it in the collective best interest of our state.
Ó dá ẹ káàbọ̀ padà ẹjá wá lọ sí iléeṣẹ́ ológun ẹjá kọ́kọ́ fún yín ní ìròyìn ayọ̀ náà níbi tá a gbọ́ wípé àwọn NAF Nigerian Air Force Army ní tán ti launch air strike tí wọ́n pa ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀, wọ́n ní wọ́n pa tó 40 nú àwọn terrorists. Mo ní kọ́mọ̀ tún wá jáde káwọn Haúsá mọ̀ tún jáde lọ́la kọ́mọ̀ sọ wípé ọmọ Ìgbò kan ló líìdì ọmọ Ìgbò kan lọ́nìjà tàbí ọmọ Yorùbá kan lóṣòdì ló lọ convince àwọn NAF láti lead air strike àtìgbà tí Trump sì ti ju tiẹ̀ ṣé ó sì ti káwọ́ gbéra. Ìyókù tá ń gbọ́ wọ́n ti pa àwọn ọmọ ológun Nàìjíríà, wọ́n ti pa wọ́n gan. Owó ìyókù tán ju air strike ṣé ọmọ Ìgbò náà ni? Àti pé air strike tán wá ń jù gan káti ẹ̀wà lọ́mọ Ìgbò ló ti Trump tán fi pa àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí tó fi mú kí Trump wá ju àdó olóró tó sì pa àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí. Kí ló yẹ ká ẹ ṣe fọ́mọ Ìgbò yẹn? Kò ń ṣe kìí ṣe tó yẹ ká ẹ fún lóyè ni, kẹ́ ẹ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ pé ó ṣe o, ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ rẹ̀ o. Ẹ sì jókòó sí di wípé Trump wá ju bọ́n ó wá ju àdó olóró. Èyí táwọn ọmọ ológun yìí ń ju ìtàn pa àwọn kìíní nǹkan tá a lẹ́ẹ̀fẹ́ fi ṣe excuse pé ó sọ fún wọn. Ẹ̀yin aláòbí lásánlásán ìgbọ́rọ̀ kalẹ̀kẹ́ tó gbé wá sórí ayélujára. Mo rí Ṣéhù Sànní náà, former senator, mo ní abájọ lára rẹ̀ former ni ọ́. Òun náà sọ̀rọ̀ kò yẹ kó rí báyìí, ó yẹ kí US kán máa ṣe intelligence wọn dáadáa, kéèyàn kan on the street. Ìwọ náà gbìyànjú kó try láti fún Trump ní intelligence. Ìwọ fúnra rẹ̀ Sànní try bóyá yóò gbọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ àbí yóò rí ọ sójú. Aṣáàdùpẹ́ wọ́n pa bí 40 terrorists ní Azir Musarma areas of Borno State. Ìméjì satellite ẹ̀ la ní àti ní fọ́nrán gangan ṣùgbọ́n a ní fọ́nrán bí tí wọ́n ti ṣe àwọn ọmọ ológun níṣekúṣe àblọ̀ ẹ̀ ó dàpá wa náà ní kìíní ní ìsìn ó dàpá wa náà ní Telegram táàmù ọ́fíìsì táàmù ní kẹ́ lọ wù ń bẹ́ àblọ̀ rẹ̀ ká fi sí Telegram ni wọ́n ní já fi líǹkì ẹ̀ sórí kìíní àblọ̀ ẹ bá gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ lábẹ́lẹ̀ àwa náà sọ̀rọ̀ sí ẹ bá ń tẹ̀sí ẹjá wo díẹ̀ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ náà. Wọ́n náà lẹ́ti rí yẹn ó ṣe ní láàánú gan o, 5 wọn náà pa o, wọ́n náà dènà dìyàn ni o. Zamfara ló ti ṣẹlẹ̀, wọ́n lọ jẹ́jẹ́ ara wọn ni. Àwọn alábọ̀dé pọ̀ nù lè ṣe ológun torí mi ò mọ bí intelligence àwọn terrorists ṣe máa sharp láti mọ ibi tán fẹ́ gbà, láti mọ̀ bóyá wọ́n jẹun lọ́wọ́ time yẹn ní time tán lọ́mọ káwọn ọmọ nìyẹn. Wọ́n pa 5, wọ́n ní DPO kan náà ló lead wọn. DPO ọlọ́pàá kan àwọn JTF ni wọ́n rà pé sójà 3 ọlọ́pàá 2. Ó dùn mí gan ní táìmì tọ́wọ́ ran àwọn ará bí gan kò tí ẹ̀ ká gbọ́ wípé wọ́n pa ọlọ́pàá tàbí àmì kankan mọ́. Afẹ́kàn fojú wọn gbolẹ̀ léyìí ló wá ń dífá fún wípé àní ó yẹ kí gbogbo èèyàn ṣe lòdì sí negotiation náà fi ń gbàbọ̀dè, òun náà fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ àmì spy láàrin àwọn ará bí.
See, come, wait, come here. Hey, Governor, now. Wait, okay, collect the money. Two of them now collect the money. Don't collect it. See, you know that police back. Say, look at the police are
Ẹjá wa lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn Afenifere àti àwọn Ohaneze lórí Amnesty deal tí à ń gbọ́ pé fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Kastina. Galolo Garus
òun náà fọ́tọ́ sí máìkì lánàá ó ní nígbà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn kan wọ́n sọ̀rẹ́ńdà ní Cross River àwọn militant wọn kì í ṣe terrorist o militant làwọn yẹn o tí wọ́n nípa ọ̀rọ̀ epo wọn tán wà ń wàkúwà tán balẹ̀ wọn jẹ́ pé àwọn yẹn sọ̀rẹ́ńdà wọ́n sì gbà wọ́n kí ló wá dé tẹ́ẹ̀nì kí ìjọba mọ́ gbà wọ́n. ẹ rántí 300 million tọ̀nà bọ́jẹ̀tì fáwọn bandits ní kastina náà ni o òun ló wá mú káfẹ́nifẹ́re náà kan gànù sí máìkì yìí. wọ́n ní prominent socio-political organizations including Afenifere, Arewa Consultative Forum, Ohanaeze Ndigbo, the Middle Belt Forum and others have expressed outrage over a plan by the Katsina State. Mo ní èmi ò believe Arewa yẹn mi ò believe wọn. Government to release 70 bandits as part of measures to patch up a floundering peace pact with bandits leaders. The groups wọ́n fẹ́ release okay eléyìí kì í ṣe Amnesty o wọ́n fẹ́ release àwọn tán mú kí ló dé tí DSS ò gbà wọ́n lọ́wọ́ wọn ẹ̀jẹ̀ àkàdé lẹ́nu kámọ́sàájú ẹlẹ́ẹ̀dẹ́pọ̀ ẹ̀dẹ́ ó sì mí ń kàyéfì. wọ́n ní ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ní gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ yìí ni wọ́n ṣe ìfọ̀rọ̀wérọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn oníròyìn. wọ́n ní wọ́n ṣe àpèjúwe ìgbésẹ̀ yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹgẹ́nsọ́lẹ̀bù reckless and danger to national security. bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a sì rí Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Nuribadu kó sọ nǹkan kan lé lórí ṣùgbọ́n ó wá disclaim pé ìyá àwọn òkú àwọn tí ń gbèròyìn ìyá àwọn kì í ṣe kò yẹ kó sọ̀rọ̀ lórí national security issue. One has also religious and community leaders in Kastina State voiced strong opposition to the proposed amnesty for the bandits, whom they describe as grave threat. Kastina State is dealing with a surge in bandit attack with over 1,500 civilians tí wọ́n pa ní 2021 láàrin 2021 sí 2025. Wọ́n tún lè lọ́mọ Igbo kan ló tún fún wọn ní ló tún wá sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ báyìí o. Kastina State is dealing with a surge of attack. Only recently, the state government approved the release of 70 suspected bandits as part of a peace deal with armed groups. Pé àwọn ẹni kan tú àwọn ọmọ àwọn lẹ̀. Pé tán bá tú wọn lẹ̀ inú ẹ̀wọ̀n náà wà ó ní Kastina lábẹ́ jurisdiction Kastina State. Pé tán bá tú wọn lẹ̀ kò ní sálàáfíà ń lù. Kì í ṣe pé bóyá wọ́n fẹ́ de-radicalize wọn o. Kì í ṣe pé bóyá wọ́n yẹn surrender o. Wọ́n mú wọn ní o. Àwọn yẹn wá ní the only thing tí peace fi lè wà ní pé kán tú àwọn prisoners àwọn lẹ̀. A gbọ́ pé wọ́n kó èèyàn Kaduna o, wọ́n jíyàn gbé o, wọ́n abduct àwọn èèyàn o. Ìròyìn ò tí ì lè confirm ẹ̀ bóyá ti release wọn àbọ̀ tí release wọn. Ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní gbèsè tí Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General for Kastina State to confirm wípé if the bandits were still in custody and verify the authenticity of the alleged documents, including signature reportedly linked to the release of the suspect. Ọ̀gá wa mọ̀ wo. Undermine justice. However, the government claims the plan release is part of efforts to consolidate peace and secure the freedom of abducted persons of over 1,000 people who have been released through similar negotiation. Wọ́n náà fẹ́ gba àwọn tán jí lọ́wọ́ wọn náà fẹ́ ṣe exchange ni. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs likened the release to prisoners exchange during wartime. When the prisoner exchange la fẹ́ ṣe. Many Nigerians, including security experts, condemned the move, citing concerns about impunity and renewed attacks. Defense Minister Christopher Musa warned that negotiating with bandits only embolden them and complicate security efforts. Ṣùgbọ́n Afenifere náà ganu sí máìkì o, wọ́n sì sọ wọ́n ní organizing secretary ti Afenifere Mr. Abagun Omololu sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé the proposal amounted to an unacceptable appeasement of violent criminals. He further described the move as reckless, unconstitutional, and a grave threat to national security. Afenifere think tank unequivocally rejects the report planned by the Kastina State. Wọ́n láwọn fọwọ́ sí àwọn fẹsẹ̀ sí kán dànù bí omi ìsanwó ṣùgbọ́n Kastina ní rárá o. Àwọn yé àwọn pé bọ́n ṣe lè rí àwọn tó wà lákàtà wọn gbà náà nìyẹn. Ẹ wá wòye àwọn ọmọ ológun tán pa ẹ wò jẹ wọn lẹ̀lẹ̀. Ìjẹ́ kò ń bẹ ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ó tojú sú èmi omi òun ní odó tá a da ọ̀run láàrẹ̀ sí o. Ẹ jẹ́ wá lọ tààràtààrà sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ká tó lọ sí ìròyìn táwọn fi káde gbogbo rẹ̀ lẹ̀ ìròyìn méjì náà ló kù. Àní pẹ́ bí ẹjá sáré dé ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ kan tán sodo sàbújá. Wọ́n ní àwọn ajíṣe bí Ọ̀yọ́ wọn ò rántí orúkọ wọn.
àjí ṣe bí Ọ̀yọ́ náà wà nínú orúkọ yín, Ọ̀yọ́ ò lè ṣe bí bàbá ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan. Èmi ò tí ì mọ orúkọ wọn ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní Àbújá náà sodo sí ẹgbẹ́ kan, ẹgbẹ́ ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ ni wọ́n. Ẹ jẹ́ á gbọ́ bí ìròyìn yẹn ṣe lọ níbi tó ti ń sọ pé ọba Aláàfin ò gbọdọ̀ gbà lórí gbogbo ọba tó bá wà lọ́yọ̀ọ́, wọ́n náà ni permanent chairman. Ẹ bá ń tẹ̀ sí ilé agbára.
The pro-Alaafin group in Abuja has rejected recent changes to Oyo State's traditional leadership structure, insisting that the Alaafin of Oyo remains the supreme traditional authority. The group, Oyo Forum in Abuja, in a statement signed by its chairman, Shego Owolabi, and Ambassador Tunde Mustafa, described Oyo's traditional hierarchy as a settled historical reality that should not be altered by political decisions.
Ó dá o ẹ wò ànípẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ìròyìn ńlá kan wà lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tọ̀yọ́ yìí o níbi tí arákùnrin kan wọ́n host ẹ̀ náà ní TVC tẹ́ ẹ bá bẹ ogun tó sọdọ̀ àlẹ́ mi ò wá mọ̀ níjọ́ bí ẹni pé Ìbàdàn ló bí lọ́ǹgì sí i bóyá ó sì dá wà dá dúró ni ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa bọ́n ṣe bọ́wọ́ pé àrìnfín ilé ìyàgbẹ́ in fact Ìbàdàn ló gbèsè lẹ́yìn Ìbàdàn ni ṣùgbọ́n ó sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan tí mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ gbọ́. Ó ní empire, ó ní terrorism ni wọ́n fi empire yẹn ṣe. Mo ní kí ló dé, kí la gbé, kí la ju èwo lọ́rọ̀ terrorism láyé ìgbà empire.
So I'm actually concerned about those who are involved in historical revisionism, those who try to probably change the history the way it is just in favor of one or the other. Based on my understanding, I understand that the Alaafin of Oyo, talk about the empire at the time between the 16th to 18th century. Yeah. And then Ibadan actually rose, to prominence in the 19th century after the collapse of the Oyo Empire at the time, having the military, might and controlling the largest, area when it comes to the current, situation. The Ooni of Ife, the Ile-Ife, that's our origin as a Yoruba person, the spiritual, significance and all of that. But looking at the current situation of the Oyo Assembly, recently amending the law to introduce a rotational chairmanship of the Oyo Council of Obas, and the Alaafin wasn't there. The Oyo State government saying that it only wants to make sure that it is representative and in congruent with current reality, current dispensation, especially when there is nothing of such as empire as we used to have. So there is no longer emperor or the place that you control. How do you, position this? Because the Alaafin said they didn't consult him, and the forth and back regarding the position of the government on the rotational Obaship Council, the chairmanship of the Obas.
The reality here is this is not new. Let us say it for what it is. And whatever happens today already had historical trajectory where it's coming from. Don't forget one thing. In 1937 and what have you, the meetings between the Yoruba, within the leading Yoruba Obas, the first one was done in Oyo, and then after that, Abeokuta, then you went to, then they went to Ijebu-Ode, went to Benin and what have you. There were 5 of them. Oni, that was Oba Adesoji Aderemi, Alake, that's Oba Ladapo Ademola, Oba, the Awujale of Ijebu land, Oba Daniel Adesanya also, and you had Alaafin Ladigbolu and the Oba of Benin. Even at that time, they all agreed that the Oni will lead them.
Spiritually?
No,
or politically?
For the meeting.
Okay.
In all their meetings. And all the places they went to have those meetings, the Oni was the chairman. That's one. And if anybody started talking about Awolowo did that, Awolowo was still young then, and he was not even within the political setting, not holding any major thing. Anyway, he was still able to do that kind of thing. So, in a way, that had been there. So how come Alaafin Ladigbolu did not make an issue then? But I digress. Now, when it comes to the issue of Oyo State Council of Obas, like I said, when Oba Kwande Shinjuade came to the throne after the exit of Kabiyesi, Oba Adesoji Aderemi, Tadeni Awu Baba, then something started coming up, and where the Alaafin then asked some others that they should support him, that the rotational chairmanship must take place. Before then, there was no rotation. Oni was the chairman for the old Oyo State. But Alaafin then gathered a few others and said, we must push for rotation. And by history, we all also realized that at a particular meeting that they were to have in the House of Chiefs, the Olubadan then, the then Olubadan, Olode Ashanke, I remember him very well, sat on the chairman's seat, possibly by instigation, whatever it may be. And Oni came in, saw what was going on, and he turned back. And he never attended any other meeting of the whatever at that point. But they were asking for rotation. Because at that point, Seun Ogbomoso, Olubadan, if I remember very well, you also had the Owa of Ijesha land, Oba Adekunle Aromolaran then, and the Orogun of Ila, of Ila. They were all there as part of that. There must be rotation and what have you. So, in a way, that happened until the Oyo State was now separated into Oyo and Osun. And of course, in Osun, both Owa And Onagun of Ila could not really look at Odi and say, Baba, we want to share this with you. But in Oyo State, the others who were supporting the Alaafin, they now came up and said, since we were already talking about rotation must take place. You see where that problem came from. And so in a way, it became a major problem. And for years after that, there was a kind of interregnum where there was not even a meeting until it's now being reconstituted. And then don't forget at the same time that the Oyo State House of Assembly has already legislated rotation. This is you see, when it comes to the issue of empire or no empire, we must realize that the dynamics of the modern environment has changed a lot of things. Even Britain will not come out and say, I used to be the hegemonic empire. And so America, shut up, come to me. I used to be your colonial master. It's not
even with these foreign tropes that they have.
It's not going to be possible. So everybody plays smart around certain things. So sometimes even you used to be the power. But we are come from the same one thing. Nobody moves away from the road for somebody who had a horse yesterday. If I'm permitted to say Yoruba, which means that you used to be great yesterday. Yes, that's good. But today, things are different. So let's not live in that past glory of I used to be this. Because the reality is, if we want to start talking about that, and we now want to look at that incident of those issues of those years in today's terms, then some people will not like what's going to come out of it. Because the reality is this: the whole Oyo Empire itself, actually, if we look at it really, in today's terminologies, went into terrorism and banditry against their own people, their brothers and what have you. Let us say for what it is. Because that is what empires will do. Force of power. Force people to come and to pay obeisance to you, to give you this. So in a way, the days of empires are gone. We must understand that. And legislation is here now. Government is saying this and that. And now if the governor said, I had consulted, even if he did not consult fully, you must understand the language of diplomacy and leadership. So if he has said that, he has only probably could have said that to also honor even Alaafin himself as Kabiyesi. But in the first instance, how come Kabiyesi was not in that? Because that meeting, that council inauguration was not representative. Almost all the others were there, because I saw Olugman, I saw a whole lot of others there. So if one of the three, the triumvirate, was unavoidably absent, there must be a reason. And that reason must be stated to the state government. So for whatever it is, we must play, Oyo needs to be careful to play things right. Because the reality is, like I said in a particular space, I said, Oloyo, that's Alaafin, must understand. Because I use that Oloyo because of the use of Yoruba, whatever. But Oloyo must understand that Ilenyo. The ground is slippery. So we must play things right. Something happened before. Alaafin, Adeyemi second, had an issue that led to an exit. So we must be careful. Because we're in the days of political leadership.
I'm conscious of the time.
Not monarchical leadership today. So monarchy works with us. We try to work with monarchy the same way the British work with the British monarchy today.
Ọ̀rọ̀ àti ibà màámi ṣé ń bá mi fọkàn gbé àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin màámi pátápátá àti bá mi. Mi ò rò pé ó tún nídìí kí n fi kún ọ̀rọ̀ bàbá yìí mọ́. Gbogbo ohun tá a ti pa lásàmọ̀, tá a ti pa lówe, tá a ti pa láàlọ́, tá a ti fi ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá gbé jáde, tá a ti sọ ń pa rẹ̀ monarchy, ẹ̀rí ń tán sọ ni wọ́n lẹ́lẹ́sìn àná sí ẹlẹ́sìn kan só wá lè mọ bó ní mọ́tò du ọ̀nà. Ǹjẹ́ ọ̀nà ẹlẹ́sìn kan wà mọ́ nísìn? Àwa ní bí o. In fact, àwọn kìíní signboard ojú títì, ẹ̀rí animal, ẹ̀rí ẹlẹ́sìn, torí tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀sìn náà máa fi ṣe bí mọ́tò lọ ọkọ̀ ayọ́kẹ́lẹ́ tó máa so ẹ̀sìn mọ́ cart lẹ́yìn. In fact, òun làwọn bá máa gùn, wọ́n sì ń gùn fẹ́. Ó ní kìíní kan tó máa fi gbé bàbá wa báyìí, white báyìí ni ẹ̀sìn, wọn á so ẹ̀sìn mọ́ ń wájú. So nídìí èyí, ẹlẹ́sìn ò lè du ọ̀nà onímọ́tò láàkó yìí, ọ̀làjú ti dé, whether we like it or not. Ẹ tún wá wo lára ọ̀làjú náà ló tún bá kíní dé o. Ẹ ń sọ̀tàn pé empire, wọ́n yìí bọwọ́ nínú empire gbà yẹn o. Wọ́n ìnáwó bọwọ́ nínú empire o. Ọba dọ̀bálẹ̀ ni ọba kí ọba fi ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ gbára, fi ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ gbára ni o. Ẹ̀yin kíyàn pẹ̀lú ọ̀làjú, Ọlọ́yọ̀ kíyàn pẹ̀lú ọ̀làjú, ilẹ̀ ò ní yọ Ọlọ́yọ̀. Ẹ̀yin Aláàfin, ilẹ̀ ò ní yọ kankan nu wọn. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀yin kíyàn pẹ̀lú ọ̀làjú, Canada lẹ ti wá. Meanwhile, bí ọ̀làjú tó kọ́ wa lọ́làjú gan, ibi tó ọ̀làjú ti wá mọ́ ṣe ń kíyàn kan nìyẹn o. O ò lè jókòó bọ̀wọ́, kò sí bó ṣe lajú tó, kò sí bó ṣe múra tó, kò sí irú Canada tàbí irú UK tó ti wá. Níbẹ̀ gan, níbi tó ọ̀làjú ti wá, o ò lè jókòó náwó sí ìyàn bọ̀wọ́. It's against the norm.
ó kàn dàbí àwọn ẹ́tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì bá ṣe wọ́n fi oúnjẹ jẹun tẹ́lómi ó mú síbí tí ó mú fọ́ọ̀kì tí ó mọ̀ ọ́n lò tó ti gbàgbé wípé ọwọ́ ọ̀tún náà máa ń mú fọ́ọ̀kì sí ọwọ́ òsì náà máa ń fi ọwọ́ ọ̀tún náà máa ń mú ọ̀bẹ sí jàre èmi náà tó ti gbé lura ọwọ́ ọ̀tún náà máa ń mú ọ̀bẹ tó fi gé nǹkan tó le sí ó dìpẹ́ǹdì lórí ọwọ́ tó bá tún lò anyways ọlọ́wọ́ ọ̀tún ni mò ń bá wí ní ìsinyìí o bọ́lọ́wọ́ tó bá fi fọ́ọ̀kì jẹun yóò mú knife ọ̀bẹ yóò fi máa gé oúnjẹ rẹ̀ ni. He will eat with the fork, with the food, with the high hand and ìbò náà ni. Èmi náà ọ̀làjú ni mo fi ń ṣèbò. Ọwọ́ àlàáfíà owó òsì ni ó fi mú fọ́ọ̀kì. So àwọn kìíní ibi tọ́làjú ti dé wọ́n ní mínì. Wọ́n ní rules and regulations. So nígbà tẹ́ bá wá ń sọ wípé ẹ fọ́làjú nípa empire. Nígbà tẹ́yìn fẹ́ kíyàn ọ̀làjú lẹ́ fi ń kíyàn. Ẹ wà fẹ́ ṣèjọba ọ̀làjú. Òun lárákùnrin yẹn sọ fún wa wípé ọ̀làjú ti bá gbà lọ. Ó ti bá gbà lọ. Ẹ tí wọ́n á wo gbogbo story tó sọ̀rọ̀ à ń di ìgbà tí Ọ̀yọ́ àti Ọ̀ṣun tọ́jọ́ wà kàn gbà náà. Bí ìgbà tàn dìtẹ̀ Ọ̀ọ̀ni ni. Wọ́n yín lẹ gbà fọ́ọ̀ni láti lẹ̀ wá. Bó bá ti wá sun yín pé róòlù tọ́ni ń play ó ti ń play róòlù àgbà jù ó ti ń ṣe kinní kan jù kì í sọmọ bàbá wa kì í ṣe oríṣiríṣi ìtàn wa ń jẹyọ bàbá ìsojú abẹ́ǹkó ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọ yóò láìkẹ́ o wọn láìkẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ sí bàbá ìsọ wọn sọ ìyá láìkẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ sí bàbá àwọn wo bóyá náà ó gbé olùmọ̀ràn kan dìde torí gbogbo wọn ní gbéyàn dìde bàbá yóò sọ pé òun á represent Ìbàdàn o ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ wọn kò lára rárá fún Ọ̀yọ́ wọn sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ káàmọ́ wo òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ibi tí òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ó gbà yọ láti ẹnu ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ náà táwọn náà bá wá represent ìjà yóò lọ́ǹgì gan o tèmi kàn ní wípé wọ́n pàtàn Aláàfin kan tán ní wọ́n going to exist tàbí nǹkan kan Ọlọ́run níjó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ ṣùgbọ́n kan rọra ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn olóṣèlú o k'Aláàfin rọra ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn olóṣèlú o. Ó náà lẹ́tí gbọ́ yẹn o àyà ló wá ń bi mí wípé pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ tán sọ ìpé sán ń wá àlàáfíà lú ni àbí wọ́n tún fọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu wọn da ìlú rú mo ní wọn dà lúrú nítán fẹ́ náà sọ ó sì kù sọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ ọba tó bá fẹ́ wà lábẹ́ wọn permanently kórè kó mọ̀ lábẹ́ wọn àwọn tí ò bá sì ní í síbẹ̀ tán fọwọ́ sí rotation èmi tí ẹ̀rù pé rotation yẹn náà wọn bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ Aláàfin ok wọ́n ti mọ̀ wípé tí kinní bá kú ń bẹ̀ tán tí Ṣèyí Mákindé bá kú ń bẹ̀ tán. Ó rẹ̀ àmúrán tí ìròyìn ẹja sáré mú tá ti gbọ́ wọ́n ní lórí ọ̀rọ̀ 30 billion relief ti Bódìjà ìdúngbàmù tó dún wọ́n ní àwọn kan ti gbé Ṣèyí Mákindé lọ síwájú EFCC mo ní gómìnà mọ̀ ní ó mọ̀ ní immunity wọ́n ní àwọn òrè ìfẹjọ́ rẹ̀ sùn wọ́n ní Ọ̀yọ́ cries politics as HEDA drags Makinde to EFCC. The Human and Environmental Development Agenda has petitioned the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over alleged diversion, misapplication, and criminal breach of trust involving the 30 billion released by the federal government of the to the Oyo state government in aftermath of the January 2024 Bodija explosion in Ibadan. The petition signed by HEDA chairman Mr. Olarewaju Soraju had addressed to the EFCC chairman Mr. Olanipekun Olukoyede queried the status of the fund released for the compensation of explosion victims, reconstruction and emergency relief. In the petition dated January 5, 2026, the group expressed concern that only about 4.5 billion naira intervention funds were reportedly applied to relief and compensation for victims, while the federal government 30 billion remain largely unaccounted for. Wọ́n ní ó wà ní sẹpẹ́ ó wà nínú bank account àwọn ò fọwọ́ kàn. There had been furore in the public space after a former Ekiti àti gbogbo yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n sá ní wọ́n ti gbé Ṣèyí Mákindé lọ ilé ẹjọ́ ṣùgbọ́n tèmi kàn fẹ́ sọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ni wípé ṣé EFCC ṣé wọ́n lè bi Ṣèyí Mákindé lẹ́jọ́ àbí wọ́n máa dúró kókó lórí oyè tó bá wá bí tó bá sọ wípé òun ò fọwọ́ kówó wọn wà ní àkáǹtì kí ni EFCC fẹ́ ṣe fún ó sì ní immunity wọn lè bí lẹ́jọ́ ní ìsìn àwọn kan lè kọ lẹ́tà sí kan advice yẹ ṣé EFCC lẹ́tọ̀ àti sọ bí Ṣèyí Mákindé ṣe máa ṣèjọba bọ́n ṣe máa náwó àbí wọ́n lẹ́tọ̀ láti sọ fún wípé àbí àjọ wo rápájọ serap ló lẹ́tọ̀ láti sọ fún wípé ẹgbẹ́ kan wà àjọ kan wà tó ń rí sí kinní gangan ló yẹ kán sọ̀rọ̀ lórí kinní tán bá ti release owó intervention eléyìí kì í ṣowó allocation owó federal government ni o, ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo àwọn state ló lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ sí gbogbo àwọn owó tán release even allocation ṣé kò yẹ kó sí ẹni tó máa monitor wọn bọ́n ṣe ná ni àbí wọ́n lè jábọ̀ fólódòdẹ fún federal government. Ok, mandate tí wọ́n yàtọ̀ síra wọn, wọ́n dìbò yàn tó bá wù wọ́n ni wọ́n lè fowó wọn ṣe. Àwọn aráàlú ló lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ láti yẹ ọwọ́ wọn wò, àwọn ará state yẹn. Ó ti yé mi. Tó bá wá yẹ ọwọ́ ta ló wá àjọ wo ló yẹ kó yẹ ọwọ́ Ṣèyí Mákindé wò tó lè sọ fún ọ pé owó tí federal government release fún ọ yìí there must be a buru case buru ló ṣe buru dey change o. Èmi ni mi ò mọ̀, there must be yàtọ̀ sí EFCC téèyàn bá kówó jẹ sówó ló kúmọkúmọ lèmi rò pẹ́jọ́ lè lọ bẹ̀. A wà mọ́ wo ìgbésẹ̀ tí EFCC náà gbé pẹ̀lú immunity tí Ṣèyí Mákindé ní, ṣùgbọ́n kí Ṣèyí Mákindé ṣe dáadáa kò ní pẹ́ kó lórí oyè o. Ibi tí sì ń lọ agbọ́ pé ilé-ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin ní ń lọ federal àwọn èèyàn ò ní immunity o. Wọ́n sì mọ́ dórí àwọn gómìnà náà ni. Ẹ sì mọ̀ pé òun àti Wike wọ́n jọ lẹ̀pọ̀. Ó ṣe àwọn kan ní federal. Ṣèyí Mákindé kò bá olódò rẹ̀ gan lẹ̀pọ̀ rárá kó mọ̀ jẹ́ wípé bó bá ti kó lórí oyè tán báyìí kò sí bó ṣe fẹ́ perfect kìíní ẹ̀ wọ́n á kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ fi rú lójú o kó ṣèjọba rẹ̀ tán kó rè jẹmọ̀lá rẹ̀ ní o ó ṣe dáadáa o. Gbogbo igbe àwọn ará Ọ̀yọ́ kó tètè gbọ́ o. 30 billion tán release bó lẹ́sẹ̀ release 4.5 billion nú ẹ̀. Anyway a lè kọ́ wọn bọ́n sì ṣèjọba wọn káwá mọ̀ òwò yóò fi wà wípé ní tó bá gbowó lé lórí òun ni kó ná lé lórí. Bóyá òfin míì tún wá gbà láàyè pé ó lè tún ṣe 4 billion kéré 4.something bẹ́ẹ̀ ilẹ̀ ṣe analysis iye ilé tó wó kẹ́ tó lọ bèrè owó lọ́wọ́ federal government ẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní value iye tó wó. Ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣúra ẹ̀yin ará Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ dáhùn sókè dáadáa o. Àmọ́ ìwé IFCC ò ràn yín lọ́wọ́ ẹjá wá fi ilé ìkádé gbogbo ròyìn lẹ̀. Rivers State afẹ́fún yín update pàápàá jùlọ àádọ́dọ̀ Rufai ìjà ní Rufai bẹ́ sí pẹ̀lú lọ́ọ̀yà yẹn òun láfi parí ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ mú níbi tó ti rọ̀ wẹ̀lẹ̀ náà ó bá píìsì dé bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ń bọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ lélẹ̀ á lọ sọ́dọ̀ bọ̀dà Jídé ó ti tọ́jú BKO níbi tó ti jẹ́ kó yé wa níbi tí wọ́n ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìgbésẹ̀ tí CJ wọn ní Rivers gbé ìyẹn Chief Justice wọn tí ilé ẹjọ́ ní kò gbọdọ̀ gba lẹ́tà impeachment ó sì tẹ́wọ́ gbà á. Àwọn kan wá ní in official capacity ó lè gbà á but in constitutional capacity kò ní lè já lẹ́tà yẹn kó kà á. Mo ní kí ló wá gbà fún official ẹ bá ń tẹ̀sí ẹjẹ́ àgbọ̀ lẹ́nu bọ̀rẹ̀ Jídé ó ti tọ́jú.
We go to Aso Villa.
What's going on there?
To get the president to intervene once again.
Again?
He should never be tired of intervening.
For the third time.
The two key combatants are his boys. So he has to bring his boys together. You know, I call them boys because of the way they are behaving.
Okay.
I could have called them men. But if they don't behave like men, then they are boys. They are boys. So the president needs to call his boys and say, look, you people are embarrassing me. You're embarrassing everyone. This statement, as I've said, I still think that a solution to this problem can be found that will not necessitate the impeachment of the governor.
Okay.
I've said that before. I don't want to see the governor impeached. I've said that before. I do not see him being impeached. But certain things must give. The governor must show greater political maturity because he lacks it. It is as apparent as daylight that he lacks it. A more politically astute person will have handled these situations much better. A more politically astute person would have known the right time to go head on into a battle such as this. But he started this so early. That is believed to be close to Rotimi Amechi. That's because the Emeka Beke is the Emeka Beke faction that is behind this statement. But
not the Tony Okocha.
The real leader of the APC, the real chairman of the APC in Rivers State is Tony Okocha. That's the person that even Governor Fubara went before him to say, I'm coming to your party, give me
membership ticket.
Yes, I'm coming to your party. So if this person, if Emeka Beke or Nwauju that issued this statement, if they were in authentic APC leadership in Rivers State, the governor will have gone before them now. We will have had no reason to go to
Tony Okocha now.
So politicians deceive themselves a lot. This is a statement that he has issued. I do not have anything against the statement that he has issued. He said, we want that this is a needless legislative overreach, having observed the recalcitrance on the part of the members of the House of Assembly, including APC, you know. And he says that what they are looking for is against the collective interests, growth and development of the ruling party. Fine things to say. But what force does the statement carry? The statement carries no force because it's not the decision maker. If you are not a decision maker,
it's just...
you are a passerby. You are a passerby. You are just like, what do they call those ones that appear in films?
Oh, okay.
They just show them.
Film extras.
You are just an extra in a movie, in a Nollywood movie.
Cameo.
You are just an, you know. So the person to solve this problem is the president. Let's not kid ourselves. The president to solve the problem is the president. You should not say, how many times will I say this? Yes, he has done that in the past. Supreme Court has corrected Ubara and said he was behaving like an emperor that's not how to run the state because he allowed the matter to degenerate. But people don't see all those things. There are many people that, because in our country, we have very few people who look at issues dispassionately.
That's true.
And I think that it is part of being honorable to be able to speak objectively on issues. If you are a big man or you are a lawyer who is simply looking for, who likes to be politically correct, in our country we don't need to be politically correct. Let's just do what is right. Let's say what is right. Let's say the truth and wait for us to be vindicated. Not to simply say, if I say this, the people will not like me. Many people will abuse me on social media. Now today they don't abuse us. Waiting down and change about us. Does not change anything. And we are not going to change because people will say, oh, he appears to be abusing Wike. The last time I saw Wike said, I see you when you say all those things about me. I said, oh, when I abuse you, abuse. He said, yes. I said, but a lot of people don't even know. They never reckon with the fact that I have abused you so many times. I once said, this man does not act his age. You understand? When you try to stay in the middle, you apportion blame to this, apportion blame to that, they will only remember the blame that you apportion to the person that they like. Because they believe that it is not your place to apportion blame to someone that they like. It is one-track reasoning. One-track reasoning. And that cannot help us. Apportion blame to this person, apportion to the other person. By nature, as human beings, we are not perfect. God will not create someone who is perfect. So people will make mistakes. But when they make mistakes, they should be ready to retrace their steps. In Nigeria, people lie. On TV, you saw falsehood on social media. You sheepishly amplified the falsehood. And when it dawned on everyone that you had actually conned people, that you had lied, you do not have the BBA to come out and say, yesterday I made a mistake, I take it back. No, that's not them. They think that is being a man. Oh, that is being a child. If you came out to say judges were singing on your mandate, and it turned out that you lied against them. All the videos in the world of that event showed that you lied against them, and you cannot take back what you said. Then you are not a man, you are a child. That's who you are. That's why you are not fit to speak in the public space. If you cannot admit it when you are wrong.
abẹ́ẹ̀rí òun náà lẹ́gbọ́n yẹn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Wike àti Fubara àtúnkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lẹ́nu bọ̀dà Jídé ẹ̀kọ́ tá a mọ́ tẹnumọ́ lórí ibi náà ni wípé ìwọ tó bá mẹ́ẹ̀ ibi tó ti mẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni kò padà sí tó bá jójú àwọn èèyàn ló ti ṣe ní publicly tó ti tàṣe àgẹ̀rẹ̀ ibẹ̀ náà ni ó padà sí mọ́rè mọ́ tọrọ ọ̀dàríjì tàbí kó lọ túnṣe nínú ìyẹ̀wù rẹ ibi tó ti mẹ́ẹ̀ ni kó padà sí ẹ kọ́ bá ṣe ń ṣe sọ́rí ká kọ́ bá ṣe ń retrieve ọ̀rọ̀ tá a bá rí i pé àmẹ́ èèyàn ni wá ẹ ń bá fẹ́ play God tó fẹ́ play perfection tó fẹ́ play pòun gangan lọ́lọ́run ló máa lóhun ò kì í tàṣe àgẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ wá gbọ́n tí bọ̀dà Jídé sọ wípé ẹ ń bá jáde sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ tó tún wá kó ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ jẹ́ pé mo ṣe mistake ni ó lóhun gangan ló yẹ ká máa pèlé èèyàn ó ní ṣùgbọ́n tí ò bá ti lè ṣe ó lọ́mọ kékeré tí wọ́n fẹ́ dàgbà tán fẹ́ grow tán ṣe bí ọmọ ọwọ́ ọmọ àgbẹ̀ sọ́run roko olóòn ni wọ́n. ó dá
lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ti Wike wọ́n ní àtúnṣe sì wà, wọ́n ní àwọn ò tí ì da ọ̀rọ̀ wọn nù bí omi ìsanwó, àwọn sì lérò wípé boys ní gbogbo wọn torí bá ṣe ń ṣe wọ̀yọ̀wọ̀yọ̀ yìí, pàápàá jùlọ kí Olódòdé pè wọ́n ṣàkíyèsí àtẹlẹ́ tó jẹ́ CGA àtẹlẹ́ tó jẹ́ CGN àtẹlẹ́ tó jẹ́ Fubara gan wọ́n ní òmàchú ọ̀tọ̀ àti Wike wọ́n ní gbogbo wọn pátá kó Olódòdé pè wọ́n ṣàkíyèsí. ẹ mọ̀jà pẹ́ ń bẹ̀ àmọ́ wò bí ó ṣe pamutéètì títí di òní tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. wọ́n ní CJ ó sì gba lẹ́tà impeachment sọ́wọ́ ní bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé ilé ẹjọ́ ti ní kó gbọ́dọ̀ gbà sọ́wọ́ gan. wọ́n ní nínú capacity rẹ̀ as official ló fi gbà, wọ́n ní ṣùgbọ́n nínú capacity ẹ̀ as constitutional wọ́n ní kò lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ àti já lẹ́tà. mo ní kí ló gba lẹ́tà tí ò lè jà kí ló gba lẹ́tà sọ nígbà tó mọ̀ pé wọn lágbára àti já. àbá gbọ́ díẹ̀ lẹ́nu máì náà, ṣé ká gbọ́ bíntín ṣípé ní báyìí nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ká tó tẹ̀síwájú, torí a sì ń lọ sọ́dọ̀ Rufai. ìjà ńlá ni Rufai dálẹ̀ pẹ̀lú lọ́ọ̀yà tọ́jọ́ ń fà á.
So it's between the two of them. That is something they can sit down to. But the onus is on the governor to talk less. You are not a governor. The welfare of the people of Rivers should be the #1 consideration for you. And there's a Yoruba adage that says that if you don't have a hold and the fortification of that weapon, don't ask for those who kill your dad. Because if you don't have a hold on the assembly, there's a limit to which you can fight your godfather. Yeah, and that's what is happening in Rivers. Apparently, whether they are in PDP or they are defecting to APC or which party, Wike controls the Amewole-led assembly. And it tunes them like a radio.
Or a transistor radio.
Like a transistor radio. That's the way it tunes them. And he will stay at the back and be watching.
Even those ones that said that
they are not doing again.
Suddenly they came back.
They made a U-turn. He bought their forms. Now, there's an allegation that the money these assemblymen are asking for, IBAS already paid them, allegedly.
So if you don't approve of something, don't say it.
No, that's why I say allegedly.
No, allegedly does not insulate you. If you have no proof that he said so, no need to amplify it. This is the problem we have with our friends. We know them because they are not trained journalists. All they see on social media is what they want to amplify. The trained journalist wants to first find out, check, double check, before saying something to the Nigerian people. But today's journalists or AOPs, they are not even journalists in the they have no honor, they have no training. So they just go on social media, they see something and they regurgitate it and put it there. No sense of filtration, no restraint.
ó dá àwọn gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ gbogbo tá a mọ̀ tẹnumọ́ ń bí ní Bọ̀dájídé náà tẹnumọ́ school of thought kan náà lájọ lọ ọkọ̀ yẹ pé personality wa ló yàtọ̀ síra wọn, wípé allegedly gan ìwọ̀nba ló lè indemnify yẹ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá ń sọ, tó bá lè proof ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọn náà wá ń gbé tó wá ló fi allegedly sí irọ́ ló pa ọwọ́ wá délé ẹjọ́ wọn náà òun amplify tí ò ṣe ni o. torí ẹ̀ ni mo ṣe mọ́ tẹnumọ́ ń bí wípé àwa gbọ́ ni àgbà à ń pàkíyèsí ẹni tọ́rọ̀ kàn, à ń pàkíyèsí rẹ̀ sí ni kò sí tó kàn wá. àwa gbọ́ ni àgbà bá bá ríròyìn tá a ti proof tá a ti confam tá a tún rí confam ẹ̀ bá a bá gbé débi a sọ fún gbogbo aráyé wípé à ń pàkíyèsí ẹni tó ń bá wí sí ni o. Malami à ń pàkíyèsí rẹ̀ sí pé wọ́n ní DSS bá ìbọn nínú ilé rẹ̀, sáà wà ń bẹ̀, sáà tẹ̀lé DSS dénú ilé rẹ̀ ń kẹ́bí àbí àwa gbọ́ ní àgbà wá defend ara rẹ̀ àfibọ̀ ló kọjá ó dìgbà tí ilé ẹjọ́ tán bá convict rẹ̀ ká tó wá sọ fún yín bí wípé òótọ́ ni wọ́n bá ìbọn nílé rẹ̀. ntẹ̀yìn ò bá ti sí ń bẹ̀ nítorí wà ń bẹ̀ gan tó ṣe fídíò rẹ̀ tó lẹ́rìí wọ́n lè yí mọ́ lọ́wọ́. ìròyìn mọ̀ burú díẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n mo dúpẹ́ pé Bọ̀dájídé náà tún sọ torí ẹ̀ láti máa dúró confam ogun tá a bá fẹ́ confam. ó náà lẹ ti gbọ́ yẹn o, ká wá fọba lé àríyànjiyàn lélẹ́yìí ẹ múra o torí ọ̀gbẹ́ni lọ́ọ̀yà yìí àti Rufai wọ́n fà á ó sì tora wọn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Rivers náà ni ó ń jọ bí ẹni wípé ẹ̀yìn Fubara ni Rufai wà, kò tí ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́ nǹkan kan nípa Wike ṣùgbọ́n ẹni tó wáyé òun sọ wípé ilé ẹjá jọ gbọ́.
You had raised eyebrows when I said integrity with respect to the House of Assembly.
So that's what I'm asking you. I said, what panel? Is it the members' integrity as regards this case? Where
I said integrity with respect. Hold on.
No,
I'll come to you. Just hold on. Just give me 1 minute. Let me land. I said integrity with respect to the constitution of a panel set up to investigate the allegations.
Okay, so that's an extraneous panel apart from the House.
Yes, I've just stated here that it's not something that the House alone does.
Very good.
You see, impeachment proceedings is a collaboration between the House of Assembly and the judiciary. That's what I just said.
But I repeat my words. You cannot expect, when they set up a panel, the House members that want to remove the governor, you can't expect them to have integrity in this matter because they're already biased. So that was the point I was trying to make.
On what basis is that bias?
They want to remove him now. Can't you see all of this? Say they want to remove him.
No, because bias itself is an emotional factor.
No, but
we're dealing on legal factors.
No, it's not a case of legal factors. They want to remove him.
It does not allow that members of that panel should be partisan.
Should be partisan. But they're partisan.
Yes, I just said that. I said they cannot.
House members being members of the panel.
Oh, no, the House members, no, the Constitution cannot contemplate that those who are.
No,
it's not. I said members of the panel set up by the CG.
Correct now. So that's member of the
panel. To the extent.
I was talking about the confusion you were making. Let me ask my question.
To the extent that you don't.
My question.
Beautiful.
I want to talk politics with you. I don't want to talk legal rigmarole. I want to talk politics with you. Please, can you tell me the sense in the push to pass a supplementary budget for a state where, number one, the budget had already been passed because of state of emergency by the Federal House of Representatives, and the governor came in, gave account, said they still had money to spend till the expiration, and Darlington Orji came here saying that some of the members had already even collected 350 million from the Ibok Abbas Ete tenure. So tell me the common sense in the need to now pass a supplementary budget after the National House of Rep had already passed the budget. Please tell me the common sense behind that.
First of all, let me say this, Mr. Rufai. You see, of all the professions in the world, your profession is the only one that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria placed the responsibility on to hold government accountable. That's Section 22. Not even lawyers, not engineers, not doctors, but journalists. And in doing this, we must try as much as possible to be objective. Now, you had said something about supplementary budget. I don't talk politics, but you had said supplementary budget, and that's a legal issue. I have seen, and I've read the notice of impeachment and the grounds served on the governor and the deputy governor. Quite unfortunate, I didn't see anywhere where the House of Assembly mentioned supplementary budget. And you see, as a journalist, we must try as much. I'm not here to educate you. We must try as much as possible because we have a majority.
People come here and give
lectures.
But you give a right of reply.
Just hold on. See, the reason why I don't want to give a right of reply because you're going to steal into my time. So let me go straight to the point. Let me go straight into the point. We have a populace of people where you have people driven by emotions and those driven by reason. And so when you have a majority of people that are driven by emotions, the tendency is that whatever thing you churn out, they will just drive with it. And somebody will just come and tell you, oh, they want to impeach the governor, he has not brought 2026 budget. They want to impeach the governor because he has not brought supplementary budget. They want to impeach the governor, because they are loyal to the FCT minister. All of those things are emotional issues. So you cannot talk about impeachment except to look at the grounds. Because Section 188 says, you cannot just come up and say you want to impeach a governor because he didn't greet you. You cannot say you want to impeach a governor because he ate gari in the morning while he was supposed to eat maybe rice. The Constitution says you must have grounds. The question we should be asking ourselves, have we seen
Constitution 188 sub 11 says gross misconduct is in the opinion of the lawmakers. So they can say you didn't.
No. But you will not find out in the you will not find out in the grounds. The grounds of particular constituting. Hold on, Mr. Rufai. The grounds constituting that gross misconduct is what you will now look at. If they now come up and say you didn't greet us in the morning, it will be in the grounds. I am saying that in the notice of impeachment served on the governor and the deputy governor, there is nowhere allusion is made with respect to what Mr. Rufai has said with respect to supplementary budget. None is in that place. So what we now have is that we have a lot of fabricated stories in the public space that has nothing to do with the reason why the House of Assembly wants to impeach the governor.
Can I reply?
Yes.
So with due respect, you are not a journalist, and I'm going to teach you my job after doing many years in this.
No.
Let me reply. Please.
No, if you go straight to the point, you're eating my time. You're going to eat my time. I didn't educate you.
I
just answered your question.
Let me speak?
I answered your question.
You let me speak, please.
Mr.
All right. So you cannot educate me about my job because this is what I do for a living. And in case you do not know, as a journalist, we amplify all sides, including what might be sentiments to you. Because what might be what might be sentiments to you and fabricated sides to you is a point of view of the other party. This point of view, I talked about the supplementary budget, was the point of view enunciated by the other side.
Is it what you would look at what the House of Assembly has done? I had thought that if you want to question the actions of the House of Assembly, you're going to question it on the basis of that notice of impeachment.
Secondly, you have no right to teach me the kind of questioning. All I just asked you, if you heard me properly, was that in what sense in the world does it make for a supplementary budget issue after a budget has been
But I was thinking that question was contextual. That question was not contextual. It's not in a context of what we're having.
So in what sense in the world was a supplementary budget needed after a main budget had been passed?
Did the House of Assembly ask for supplementary budget?
That was the question I asked you. And it was a general overarching question based on what was said by Darlington. So what you will have just done, rather than rigmaroling and try to educate me on my job, because I've also given you the angle that it was Darlington that asked that question and that said that part, was you will have just answered and said, oh, that's it. It's not part of the budget. It's not bone of contention. That's why I told you I want to talk politics. When you talk politics, context is quite broad. So in case you want to teach us our job, all right? So moving forward, since you said, as we speak, oh, it's not a ground for impeachment and all of that, then the next question I want to ask you is, what is the substance to this impeachment matter?
Okay.
And what's the logical sense behind it?
Okay. Well, if you talk about the substance and the logical sense about it, if the law has provided for grounds upon which an impeachment can be carried out by the House of Assembly, it may not be logical to you, but so far the grounds. So far the grounds.
Don't waste your own time. Really?
No.
Go ahead. Don't waste your time.
I have said here before that I have seen the grounds of impeachment served on the governor
so you
and
don't
the
know the
deputy
grounds,
governor.
You have to read it out? Okay, you want to read it out?
You don't. I don't want to make it. This is a documentary.
Okay,
There are seven grounds.
Okay.
There are seven grounds. Number one, if you take a look at the ground one, is reckless and unconstitutional expenditure of public funds, contrary to section 120, 121, and 122 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If you take a look at ground two is misappropriation of public funds, contrary to the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If you take a look at ground three, hindering or obstructing the Rivers State House of Assembly, which is another arm of government protected by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, from performing her constitutional roles. If you take a look at ground four, conniving and supporting the illegal appointment of persons to occupy offices, positions in the Rivers State government without allowing for the requirement of screening and confirmation as prescribed by the Constitution of the Rivers State. I've set 8 grounds. All of these grounds, unfortunately...
I ask you, recalcitrant disobedience to agreement, including those including President Tinubu post-emergency rules, also
where is that ground?
Are these other part of the thing?
They are not part of the grounds. These are not part of the grounds. This, I just mentioned now.
They are not part of the grounds.
They are not part of the grounds for which the House of Assembly wants to
so it is only all of these grounds?
I said 8 grounds. 8 grounds. Unfortunately, I didn't see any political reason for those for the impeachment.
Okay.
So this thing you have now may just be what a lot of people have in the media, fabricated too.
ó dáa náà lẹ́sìn báyẹn káàbọ̀ padà wò ní kankan lé lórí mọ́ wàhálà àgò ní ó pa láìsí wọ́ta wọn káwà sàrọ̀ náà lọ ní tiwa kí gbogbo ẹ̀ ò dàrú débi táwọn ó ti rọ́ náà lọ àwọn òbínú wọn kàn náà mọ́ bínú wa kàn bá tú bàbá Sunday Igboho lẹ̀ kàn jọ́ kàn túkùn lọ́rùn ẹni ẹlẹ́ni o yóò yá kò ní yẹ́ ẹlẹ́ àníírí jù báyìí lọ́wọ́ nínú ìròyìn tòní ẹ bá pín ìpò wá dénú yín kókalẹ̀ kókakó ìmọ̀ràn yín náà ṣe kókó 5 lines ní wàá fi lè kọjá 5 lines pẹ̀lú lẹ́tà ìyọkàn báyìí à ń gbalẹ̀ sábójú lórí irú kọ́mẹ́ǹtì bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o ó dá àyà kí ló ní fún ọnù abala ń bára yìí pápápá àròjọ mùsùlùkùn ẹ jẹ́ àpàdé lọ́dọ̀ àyà. ó dá o ẹ jẹ́ káwa mẹ́nu lé abala ń bára ẹ̀ ọ̀gá mi ẹ ṣeun nínú abala ń bára ẹ̀ tòní ó ń jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé kókó ìròyìn tòní gangan ó dá lórí wọ́n ń fẹ̀sùn kara wọn wọ́n ń dìbọ́ǹkì ẹ̀ wọ́n ń fẹ̀sùn kara wọn wọ́n ń dìbọ́ǹkì ẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́bì àwọn tí a mọ̀ gangan gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó sì jẹ́ pé Yewa náà ti wá ní Benue State tán ti pa àwọn èèyàn jù tó sì jẹ́ pé àwọn náà wọ́n kó ipa ribiribi lórí ọ̀rọ̀ wípé wọ́n tọ Trump lọ Amẹ́ríkà lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn ń gbé àmọ́ ráwòrán wọn àti fọ́nrán wọn àti àjọṣepọ̀ wọn tán jọ ní tó lọ́rìn pẹ̀lú irú Ted Cruz àwọn congressmen míì tán sì ń gbóhùn sókè wípé àwọn làwọn wà ń di ariwo táwọn pariwo sí etí Trump àtàdédé náà gbọ́ tán sọ wípé arákùnrin kan ní Onitsha òun ní Trump gbáriwo rẹ̀ pé òun gangan ló ṣokùnfà airstrike àdó olóró tí Trump wá jù sí ibùbá àwọn ISWAP ní North ní Nàìjíríà ṣùgbọ́n arákùnrin ní òun fẹ́ sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ fún àwọn táwọn kópa ribiribire ó sì sọ ìdí tí kò ṣe yẹ kí Nàìjíríà gbégbèsè lórí pé wọ́n ń kó owó túnútúnú rè mọ́ lọ́bì ẹjẹ́ àfarabalẹ̀ ká gbọ́ lẹ́nu rẹ̀.
Of the advice that before a government takes an action, they would have thought about what the loopholes were for us to have gotten where we got to. Because a lot of people were very worried by the intervention of the United States. Now, they didn't, there were, well, I say mixed reactions to that intervention, especially the tweet, or the message on Truth Social released by President Donald Trump in terms of how they intend to come into Nigerians guns a-blazing to save Christians. Now, a number of people figured that if it was just about insecurity and to come against terrorists and to fight general insecurity because it also had a way of affecting U.S. interests, perhaps in Nigeria or around Nigeria, as the case might be, a number of people might have said, well, the United States is welcome. But what they were afraid of is the manner in which this happened, the fact that the U.S. said they were standing up for Christians in Nigeria. And you saw, I do not know how well you followed the dispute that followed afterwards. But, Nigerians basically were walking on eggshells after that particular declaration, given just how sensitive religion is as an issue in Nigeria. And the fact that both sides, Christians and Muslims, had suffered casualties as a result of the work of terrorists in our country. So for you, when you look at that narrative and how it had the potential to affect us internally, I mean, even, conflagrate what was potentially a combustible issue, do you think that we should just sit down, or do you think a government should fold its hands and not try and get its own side of the story heard as well?
Okay, thank you very much. The side of the story in this context is just the truth. We are Nigerians. Section 14, sub A, paragraph 2, sub 2, paragraph A of the Nigerian Constitution of 1999 says, sovereignty belongs to the people. We are the sovereign, not the government. We are the sovereign. And it is we the people. I want to correct that narrative. It is we the people, the victims, who have called on the United States to act, because the United States has the responsibility to protect, responsibility to protect as a cardinal principle, when it comes to situations like this. Now, let me take you on a timeline of these activities. Before now, we the people, we have called this genocide several times. Genocide has been happening against us, against Christians, by groups that are not related to us, coming to Christian communities, trying to obliterate Christian communities, displacing our people into the IDP camps, and taking over their land. Except anybody wants to, deny this obvious fact, that genocide has been happening not just now, for so long a time. In Nigeria, when in 2001 or so, Nigeria was to host Miss World, these guys went on rampage in Kaduna, burned churches, that is genocide. You are killing these guys because they are Christians. You are burning churches because it is a Christian place of worship. Just because of Miss World. Nobody says anything about it because it is we Nigerians that were complaining. There was a time that there was this Danish cartoon, the so-called Danish cartoon about Prophet Muhammad in Denmark. Nigerians paid the price. For what? Because they are Christians. That is genocide. It fits the intent and purposes of what genocide is all about. The spirit and letters of Article 2 of the Genocide Convention of 1946. It fits into it completely. But we're denying this.
Mr. Ojo, I do not wish to minimize. I do not wish to minimize, the sufferings of communities across, the place where you come from. I know that we spoke with you shortly after the massacre in Yelwata, where you hail from. But you also, some people will say that you also cannot minimize the sufferings of other communities, other groups. For instance, what happened in Borno State, which is still reeling from the massacres that have happened as a result of Boko Haram insurgency. How do we describe that? We know that these issues are a little more complicated than a dry-cut description that we're given to them. And that, our country is such that, as you rightly said, something that happens in another place can have an effect. So when a president says, I'm intervening on behalf of one group of people to the detriment of another, or seemingly to the detriment of another group of people, shouldn't there be concerns, especially by those who are supposed to be leading all of this group of people?
Okay, let's break down this for easy understanding. Now, we admit the fact that there are Boko Haram in our country. It's so unfortunate that our country is the number 5th country in the whole world, placed on number 5 as the country that has hosted the highest number of Islamist terrorist organizations. So unfortunately, we are only we are number 5. We've only been surpassed by Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, and Somalia. So we are number 5. We have ISWA, we have Boko Haram, we have Lakurawa, we have Ansaru, and we have the most vicious terrorist organization in Nigeria that is in the Middle Belt, the Fulani ethnic militia. Now, if these Islamists kill fellow Muslims, that's terrorism. But if the Christians are killing Christians because of their faith, that is genocide. So let's break it. It's so unfortunate that they're killing everybody. So wherever genocide takes place, the people of that faith or that tribe were also affected. Like in Rwanda, when the Hutus were killing, they were also killing Hutus. So there's no difference. In Bosnia, when the Serbs were under Milosevic, the Slobodan Milosevic, this guy that was jailed for life by the International Criminal Court, they were also some Serbians. So there's no difference about it. So it's unfortunate that they kill Muslims, and when they do, that is terrorism. But when they kill Christians, they kill them because of their faith, and that is genocide. So let's not take away this fact. We've been seeing how they try to spin the narrative to say, oh, everybody's been involved. We're not responsible for the creed these guys were given, the beliefs they were inculcated with. We're not responsible for that. These guys, they were growing up in the street. They were given a creed that is based on hatred, on violence, and asked that they should go after their enemies. And today, these guys have grown into monsters. They are coming into communities. When they came into my community, they've been us in my community almost every month. But June 13th and 14th last year was on a large scale, on a different scale. And that is why many of us are standing up and not relenting. Because it's too much. I've lost more than 70% of the people I knew while growing up. Just because of these guys. We didn't do anything. We are in our land. These guys will come in the depth of the night and kill a 90-year-old baby, a 90-year-old father. For what? That is what we're saying. And the Nigerian government will be calling on them several times to act. Look, now, we've been using the word genocide for so long, but the Nigerian government has not been acting. Even in January of 2018, if you remember the mass movement that happened in Guma local government under when Otom was governor, there was a mass burial of about 78 people that were in my local government of Guma. We called it genocide at that time. On the official program, it was written genocide. If you go to where they were buried today on a Makoji, Welfare Quarters Road, Welfare Quarters Mobile Police Road, the signboard is there. Burial of the victim of Fulani genocide. So, Nigerian government has not been acting. We're calling it exactly what it is. So, since they've not acted, we called on a senior brother. Look, we've not been protected by these people, by our own government. And let me, finally, before I conclude this chapter, let me tell you, unfortunately, the people in Yerwata, 90% of them voted for APC. They voted for the government to defend them on their own part. They fulfilled their social contract responsibility by coming to exhibit their civil duty and voted for this particular government.
Abẹ́ẹ̀rí nígbà tí wọ́n ń vóòtì fún APC wọn mọ̀ pé ikú àwọn làwọn ń vóòtì fún wọ́n ti wà under the ground báyìí. Níta fẹ́ fàyọ ń bì náà ni wípé kò sorúkọ tán lè pé àwọn yòókù náà àtàwọn tẹ́ ń bá wí wípé wọ́n ń pa àwọn náà àwọn náà ò ṣe pariwo síta. Ápíkè ni àǹfà tí ò tẹ́ẹ̀fẹ̀ ò tóra wọn ẹ̀ ní tó ti tóra wọn rẹ̀ dí. Àti wípé àwọn tó rè pé USA wá tó wá di wípé àwọn onílọ́bì wá ń change narrative ní ìsìn ṣe bí fún ọ̀tá láti pa ọ̀tá tó ń pa àwọn náà ni àbí ṣé wọ́n lè pe USA wá kó wá mú mùsùlùmí ni aṣáàdùpẹ́ mùsùlùmí náà ti change narrative mi ò mọ ibi tó tún padà sẹ́yìn bá àwọn oníròyìn míì gan gbà míì gan wọ́n máa ń fọ ọwọ́ aago sẹ́yìn ṣùgbọ́n lọ́rọ̀ kan wọ́n change narrative jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ẹni tó yẹ kán máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ gangan ni arákùnrin tán ní òun ní igbe rẹ̀ tó ké sí ààrẹ Trump létí tán ló ń ta screwdriver ní Onitsha tó bá jò náà ní ààrẹ Trump ló á jẹ́ wípé àwọn ọ̀run ló amplify ohun rẹ̀ létí Trump ó sì yẹ kíjọba Nàìjíríà máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ ni torí bí ìbá ṣe tiyan ṣé bí nígbà tí USA máa wá ṣe bọ́n náà approve àwọn jọ ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ ni a sì gbọ́ pé wọ́n pa aráàlú kankan wọ́n pa innocent person. Ó bá jò náà ní ẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ mọ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ nítorí nígbà tí US yóò fi wá tí wọ́n fi ju àdó olóró Nàìjíríà ló provide the intelligence fún wọn jọ ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ ni a sì gbọ́ pé wọ́n pa ẹni tí ò ṣẹ̀ àwọn ará bíi náà ni ó ti ẹ̀jẹ̀ pé nígbà tán jù náà àwọn tó ń pariwo ìpè lọ́bì náà tún ni tán ní kán rè mú ọmọ Onitsha ebọn náà tún kọ́kọ́ sọ wípé àdó olóró làwọn ń fọwọ́ sá kiri yìí o kò dá nǹkan kan lára àwọn o kò pa àyàn kankan o kò pa iswap kankan o kí wàá ní ariwo iṣẹ́ lọ́bì náà ń ṣe lọ́dọ̀ tèmi ẹ jẹ́ àpò lórí ẹ̀ nítorí àwíjàre kí tó tán lẹ́nu ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ wá sáré fi fọ́nrán kan hàn yín ní àná la mú fọ́nrán Rele Mọ́rẹ̀wá tó sọ pé Nigeria is most dangerous country tí kírísítẹ́nì lè gbé ṣùgbọ́n lọ́tẹ̀ yìí ẹ jẹ́ á lọ sí inú ètò ìlera níbi tí wọ́n ní àbájáde research kan tó ti jáde o tán ní Nigeria is the most dangerous country tí èèyàn ti lè bímọ wọ́n ní ó ṣe wá jẹ́ kàtígórì dangerous lẹ́ ń fi Nàìjíríà sí abóhùn ní fira rẹ̀ síbẹ̀ ni.
Nigeria is the most dangerous country in the world for women to give birth. Now, this is according to the latest United Nations estimates calculated since 2023. The data says 1 in every 100 Nigerian women dies during childbirth or in the days that follow.
Yes, as a reproductive health and rights advocate, it's a very, very disturbing report. It's not new. We've been with this for so many years. As far back as, let's say, 20 years ago, we've had this very terrible maternal health outcomes. So the question would be, when you know, yes, the first important thing to do is to identify that you have a problem. The second is, what do you do about the problem? Have you properly analyzed and had a proper situational analysis to say, yes, this is the problem? Because if you don't identify what the problem is, you will not be able to make adequate measures to mitigate the consequences that come. So nobody will say the report is not true. We've been battling with it. But the question will be now, what are we doing as a country to see how we can reduce this number of deaths and disabilities that are happening in the country?